Though, what's up though? How you doing, sis?
How you
We in the
doing?
building. I'm good. I just want to clear the house out for this episode so that we can get more in depth about what we talk about, what
Mm-hmm.
we think about on a daily basis, and
Yeah.
just some things that we value. Because I know when it comes to like both of us, like we so black and white when it comes to principles, when it comes to treating people how we want to be
Be
treated,
treated
when
exactly.
it comes to just all that type of stuff. So that's kind of what I want to dive into with this episode. Like, let's just talk
Yeah.
about life. Let's talk about work. Let's talk about just right now in present time the things that's happening. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll let you go ahead and start it off.
Let's
Anna
get into
Herbo.
it. Let's get into it.
That's a
So the
fact.
first topic I got is poverty. Which,
Poverty.
yeah. What you
Yeah.
think about that? Like,
Um, for me, that's a good question. I think 2024 poverty. The first thing that comes to mind
hmm
is mindset.
but why you say mindset?
When you
About.
say poverty, I just think mindset because I think in these times that we have right now, there's so many different avenues outside of just ways to make money that um, poverty, when you think about it back in the day, was more like you don't have nothing, you don't have food, you don't have clothes,
Mm-hmm.
you're struggling with rent, you're struggling with bills, and you just don't know where the next piece of motion is going to come from. But I think now, like I said before, times have changed.
They
So
definitely have.
That word don't
just
even mean that word
it
anymore.
doesn't even mean that word anymore. I think just
I
yeah.
I think it's just if you don't got Gucci or Prada, you in poverty.
Yeah, yeah, right. You in
Even though
poverty.
you still can't afford it.
Right, right.
like
So
you
I think it's a difference between like what our culture look at what the word poverty is to our culture
hmm
and how the word poverty is viewed upon the eyes of this world. I think
Exactly.
that's two different ways
I think
because
this new internet it made it into you got to live to a certain standards or you broke as fuck.
yeah, and also think about it this way too. In our culture just growing up, right?
hmm
We was growing up and we just seen everybody try to outbeat someone, outdress someone, outcook
Yeah.
better than someone. It was always competition between our culture.
Damn shame.
And then now we get to the point where it's just like we're doing the same thing. We're still competing. We're still fighting, with each other instead of coming together.
The
Um,
cycle
eh,
always repeats
yeah.
itself.
So my point was to that before I start going on a tangent is
hmm
perspective. So inside our culture, it's all about the perspective. So if you drive a Mercedes but you live in a house that look like a trap house, the perception that you're going to get from having that Mercedes when you're out in traffic is what?
You're a drug dealer.
You're a drug dealer,
hmm
or you got
You
money, or you come
exactly.
from wealth, or you're doing something good in your
Or you
life,
scamming
right?
something
Not
that
the
Now,
has
scamming.
another negative thing to put into it.
boom,
You could just
boom,
live in the hood and
yeah,
can afford. You probably got as much money as a white person out
right.
there, but they'll see the house and be like, "Oh, he's selling drugs."
Yeah, he's selling drugs. It's all about
Got
the
to.
perception.
hmm
So with us, I think there's a perception between how we're viewed to the world, and I think there's a perception between how we're viewed with each other. And this is why I just think that we go so hard as a Black African American community to look like we got it and look like we up to part, instead of actually using that same energy to actually be a part,
That's a fact.
and actually really live up to what it is that we need to live up to. And I think if we change the trajectory of the way we view that specifically, we'll
hmm
start thriving more in our community because why adding adding an engine of social media is really very detrimental to a culture like ours if you really think about it outside of any other culture because we already go about trying to f- um, uh, act like we got it, and play like
Yeah,
we're rich, be flashy with our
exactly.
clothes and our jewelry. So why wouldn't it not be a program? I mean, why wouldn't it not be good to have an app that's like a playground for you, where
hmm
literally you can do whatever you want to
And be
create
who you
some
ever
type of
want. This
right.
fake
Yep,
reality,
to create this
like
type of narrative and perspective on what you want people to think you are while you're actually struggling
exactly.
in real life. And I
I
think,
agree with that.
yeah, and I think that's what makes things just so detrimental to our culture because it's just more things that's added on to the system to hinder us. And
hmm
yes, we could look at all the 100 things of what's positive about social media, but at the end of the day, when it comes to our culture specifically, things are designed strategically to keep us under. And until we understand that as a community, we're going to continue to fall short when it comes to every single element in life because when we already have to fight as hard to become someone in this world,
Mhm.
why would I want to sit here and compete with someone who I know come from where I come from, is the same skin tone as me, and I know that we're both trying to get out here and make it.
That's deep.
Exactly.
But you can tell people true colors because you understand that in our culture, we preach, yes, we need to bring it together, fight together to get where we need to get. But in reality, all we do is we compete against each other
Mhm.
because we understand so deep down inside that things are so screwed in this world. And when it comes to our race, that the best thing that we can do mentally, if we want to try to possibly live a sustainable life, is try to crawl over each other to
Mhm.
get to the promised land. It just wouldn't make sense with the time that we have in life, dealing with what we dealing with in life, to be trying to join together to then overcome something that is overtaking us. Do that make
That
That's
sense?
fucked up,
that
if you
is a
ask me.
fact. Like I feel like we only come together when the opposite of a race is going against us.
Exactly.
But we can't be there for each other when we need each other.
And you know why that is though?
Why is it?
Because the reason that that is the case is because it's easier to fight against each other.
Yeah. Cuz they I,
It's easier to fight against each other
it
than it is
is
to
then to compete with somebody else.
compete with someone else.
Like why would you want to compete with your own kind and when we can join forces and beat these motherfuckers that's trying to compete against us?
And a
Exactly.
herbo, they go
Like
lock your
Exactly.
ass up.
And that's why I think that it's very mentally um it's very mentally draining. And I think it's draining all across the board because for me, and I'm an activist in the community, and it's hard for me to even say that right now because it's been about 2 years since I actually really went about investing into the youth like I used to.
mhm.
But it's been draining for me because for me, I feel like if these laws aren't just ripped to shreds, burnt up, and rewritten, things are going to continue to happen in the same hamster wheel process. We're going to continue to see Malcolm X and Martin Luther King's coming into this
Mhm.
world and
We are.
fighting for what it is that's needed. And then the people that's present in the world is going to look at them as their heroes. And before we even can see any glimpse of what a real change is, we're already dead and gone. And
Well,
so
when
are
you
they,
explain it like that,
right?
And
So and then,
that's when they want to preach. Oh, he said this back then. I should have
exactly.
listened.
So before things can actually change and be implemented, we have already died off. So the only thing the next generation has as hope is history. So the only thing
Wow.
that this next generation can do is learn about the guys that had the baton at first to fight
Mhm.
for this, to then put certain students within these classrooms around the world that puts a light bulb upon their head and say, you know what? I think that I want to actually take the baton as the next person to lead this next piece on,
Mhm. The
right?
history repeats itself,
So
like I
now
said.
history is continuing to repeat itself. And
Mhm.
then what happens to that generation? Before you can see change happen,
they dead
the
too.
government then killed them off, or the generation then died off. So
Yeah.
it's like, where is it? At what point, or where can we actually go
So
in
when you
to
mean
start to tackle this
when you
thing?
mean the government has killed them off, is this one of your conspiracies?
It's
Or
it's
or
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's more
yeah.
like a conspiracy. And the only reason I say that is because at the end of the day, the government is the government. I put conspiracies, I put Illuminati, I put all that shit in the same ball.
Mhm.
To me, I mean, a catch
Yeah.
is a catch. And when it comes to money, there's just wicked things that people do
Yeah.
to get the money,
Every day.
and manipulation is one of them. And due to the fact that black people dollar are the biggest dollar circulating in the world, or let me just say in the United States for a statistic purpose, that means something.
Yeah.
So that just shows right there that we are the system, right? So we can sit here and talk and say, okay, 1 + 1 = 2. So basically what I'm saying is, all right, if we all join together and we fight against this, we don't shop at these other stores, we actually pour into our own clothing brands,
Yeah.
our own food supply stores,
We have
our own
we would have been
barbershops.
rich. We would have all been
We would have
rich.
been rich, right?
Honestly.
Right? And we can
Like
sit here and we can have all these hundreds of videos, these reels, these all these episodes talking about these type of things, but still we wake up every day as a community, as a joint effort, and choose to ignore each other ways and stick to our personal narrow tunnel and
mhm.
see how we can make it out
That's so fucked up.
rather than ever bringing everybody together
And
because
everybody all winning.
because we understand that we're the
Mhm.
system. So in order to change the system, the pawns have to move different. So the system instantly changes when our mind changes. So when you go, so to go back to the question, when you say what is poverty, it's just like slavery was a physical thing way back in the day,
It
right?
was.
Now in 2024, it's a mental thing. When
Mhm.
you know what they're doing to you, what type of excuse can you have as far as why it won't be fixed or why it can't be fixed? There is no excuse other than to just not care to do it because it's not cool to,
Right.
right?
And I feel like without the without the actual physical abuse, this is like the worst slavery ever been.
Yeah.
like,
This is the worst of
like
slavery.
it's
Yeah.
it's people is getting away with it. Like it's like norm. Oh, he said nigga or nigger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's
What?
cool. It's all cool now. For everybody. It's cool to hear the
Yeah.
music. It's cool.
I'd be so confused. Like it's cool to be racist now.
Right. It's cool to be racist. It's cool to just cry. It's cool to just do everything. But people are making everything just so, and it ain't really people. It's the media. It's just all that stuff. Like it's people swear that they're so different, but
But now
everybody
this
is followers, bro.
not to be like, but I feel like this internet is just like racist. People could be racist and it's okay,
Yeah.
but we cross the line at kids,
Right.
or
do we?
I mean, exactly.
It's social media. People are wicked, right? People
You
are using people's kids as
no,
bait.
we not actually crossing the line at for kids, because kids now is being sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
This is the most kids has been sexually assaulted in 2023, 24.
Yeah. Well, you also
Like
gotta,
it's a trend now.
Yeah.
Like
well, you also got to understand things too. Like I seen this type of stuff coming from a mile away. Maybe about 4 to 5 years ago,
Mhm.
when trends have started to change. Like what people don't understand is when it comes to carrying some type of narrative and agenda, everything moves together. That's
Facts.
food, that's music, that's fashion trends, that's everything. Everything moves together. And what I mean by that is you started to see an introduction
Calvino, what the hell are you
of
doing?
female rappers starting to hit the scene
Mhm.
5 years ago. They started to get on the scene so heavy
Put your
that
damn
it
hand
started to
down.
be a trend on every single song that a female artist made. It came with what?
Popping pussy, popping ass.
You said it. It came with some type of dance, twerk, or some type of
No,
ass
her correct
jiggling.
words was
Yeah.
popping
Right.
pussy.
It has to. That's what people want now.
So how?
After City Girls, came about, it's been ass ever since.
Right. So how did fashion move with that? So let's put
they
out
making
there
they making
lingerie.
they're
lingerie,
wearing
right?
lingerie outside.
Right. So now we got
To
lingerie.
clubs.
Right. So now you following me. We on the same page. Now we got lingerie coming into the picture.
Mhm.
We got this thing called leggings. Different
Yeah.
type of patterns,
Crop
different
tops.
type of stitching in the ass part where you can.
Mhm.
Oh, we got all this type of
Ass
stuff
kinda
moving.
out, but you still got pants on.
Boom. So now we got all
Be
this
so
stuff
confused.
moving all at the same time because, like I told you guys, it's an agenda. So
Mhm.
let's start with the clothes looking a certain way. Now let's get the leaders, which is the women out here dancing, making all these songs,
Chicken ass.
right? And then now let's get all these social media platforms created to then put it all on display
Mhm.
at the youngest of ages as a demonstration to now get these little girls to be this way. And the way to get these
And
little
they
girls,
be so young.
yeah,
Like,
because you start with their mama, you start with the parent, and it affects the whole household
yeah.
because the parents are the leaders. So whatever it is that you're putting into these households, this is what your kids is leaving as being a reflective out of.
Yeah.
And I think that type of stuff is critical. I really truly do.
That's crazy. And they catching on at a young age.
Yeah.
They just, even if the parents
hop
is
in the
not twerking
rotation?
or physically doing it, you allowing them to watch it is
Or
not
just
okay.
play like you don't hear me.
It's not okay at all. These are young kids doing fresh shit,
Yeah.
getting sexually assaulted because they're wearing shit that they don't supposed to be wearing, like crop tops and booty shorts. These are babies.
Yeah. So now looking
Not
at
to
that,
make it okay that
Right.
if you see them wearing a crop top that
Yeah.
you can go sexually assault them. No, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be assaulting them at all. But it's just the simple fact you got them dressed to where people are actually looking at little kids like, damn, like whatever your thoughts be.
Yeah, but this is
you
my
know?
this is my point when I say that fashion and everything plays a factor in the agenda of how things move, because now once you get these parents involved, and now you got the kids attention, and now you have now a whole generation of kids being a certain way, which is now resulting into 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds wearing what? Bell bottom pants, lingerie stuff, leggings, right? So now what you're causing is you're causing these young little kids and little girls to exploit themselves, into wearing certain things that they're considering as just trends and fashion, when really it's looking very sexual in the
Hmm.
eyes of not just creepy men, but just with adults in general. It's not
Exactly.
appropriate. It's
It's
not
not at all.
respectful. To have this type of stuff. So this is why these type of rates of sexual assault,
Mhm.
rape, and different times like that is going through the roof because of the type of trends and things that is happening. A lot of these dances that's on TikTok are sexual dances.
They are.
It's all hip movement, it's all waist movement, it's all ass movement,
Hmm.
right? So it's just like you're creating some type of industry of just straight wickedness, right?
It's crazy
So it just
right
makes
now.
it very uncomfortable to watch. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't
It,
have to watch something and have to be thinking something negative in your head. When
or
it when
saying like my kid ain't gonna never do
right,
that.
right, when it gets to that point, that should be enough to say something is wrong.
I
Hmm.
agree.
Like,
But, you know,
yeah, I don't know
it's
about
easy
that.
to say.
It is. It is.
But I mean, when we on fashion,
Yeah.
let's actually talk about, because this is more of my field of work. Let's talk
Hmm.
about fashion.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the difference, because I know you be putting that shit on too.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't dress for shit. I ain't gonna lie.
oh, stop it. You
Nah,
can put some
I
stuff together.
I can't.
I think you dress very cool and laid back, and I really do actually think you dress to your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see so much about you just by the way you dress. I could tell that you like to be comfortable.
Hmm.
You like to not have that much attention on you, but you cool. You like to
Yeah.
be
Exactly.
relaxed. You're very calm, and the
Hmm.
way you dress shows that.
That's good. I
Yeah.
like that.
Well, because I come from a fashion field, so that's really how you're
Yeah.
supposed to go about
That's
expressing
that's
yourself.
crazy how you can read somebody off just fashion.
That's
Yeah,
why they
because to
call
me,
him the
fashion is
greatest.
identity. This is why I go about
Yeah.
doing workshops, and I'm a stylist. So I
Yeah.
really help people understand the difference between wearing something
Hmm.
and styling something.
Exactly.
Right. And that's what I
Yeah.
want to get into right now. Like really seeing the difference between, because right now there's a big wave in fashion with just
So let me test your.
oversized
Actually, let
clothes.
me test your fashion.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. So if we had Rihanna, Beyonce, and Nicki Minaj in a room, three girls, how would you tell their personality by the way they dress, the clothes you seen them in? So just think of something you seen a picture of Beyonce. Let's say like two pictures of Beyonce. What would
Okay.
you think her personality is?
Just seeing Beyonce, I would think that without even knowing her background, just seeing how she dressed and how
Hmm.
her posture is in her pictures, I would think that she wants people to see her as a goddess. I would think that she wants that she moves with a certain type of class. I would think that Beyonce is the type of woman that always wants to be seen in a unique light,
Yeah.
just by the way that she will be putting things on. And I will also, if I was to speak about her personality, I would say that by how she dressed, she is very specific and articulate on how she wants to look.
So do that
So,
sound like
so
the female you?
yeah, I think Beyonce sees
100%,
herself.
right?
I think she sees herself through a perfect lens, and I think
Hmm.
with seeing how she dressed, that everything in her life has to level out and
Yes.
balance. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause
So
that describes you. I
yeah.
remember you did.
Oh
You
yeah.
said that to me
Oh,
when we
okay.
was
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say about Beyonce.
Hmm. What about
Rihanna.
Rihanna?
Um, Rihanna. I'm trying to get a visual of
Hmm.
what's her style. Hers has changed from when she first started in the
Let's talk
industry.
about when she first started, cause
Yeah.
she dressing like ASAP Rocky right now.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the
But it's
day,
cute though. I
yeah.
like it.
But you are what you're around. You become
Exactly.
what you around.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
do.
obvious.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can see him really
yeah. Cause
making
she
her
did a photo
feel
shoot that
feel
looked at
free.
just like his one of his old pictures, like with the grills,
Right.
the braids. Yeah, she's dressing just like him. I
Yeah.
like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think, but Rihanna, I think with her, she has always dressed different. I
she
have
did.
never looked at Rihanna as a person who has dressed dope. I have just looked at her as a person who's just
like she's an island girl. She just dressed how
she
she
just
would dress if
dressed
she was home.
exactly. But with Rihanna, I would put her in something that for sure has a lot of skin showing.
Yeah.
Because she's very free, and because she comes from an island, I know that that's something that she would feel comfortable in. When I see Rihanna, I see a lot of different chains, jewelry, gold. I see just different accessories with Rihanna. Same with Beyonce, but Beyonce, like I said before, Beyonce is very articulate. She's very specific. Everything is a meaning behind it's a meaning behind everything she does. Rihanna, she's just very open. She's very organic. I think and she's very sexy. She likes to dress sexy, and that's also part of her personality.
Yeah.
Rihanna is a flirt to me. I think she comes
She
off as a
is.
very flirtatious person, and I think her fashion shows that part of her identity. As far as her being a flirtatious person, from the way she may walk, the way she may look, and what may she may have on.
That's a fact.
Now, Nicki Minaj,
Yeah, let's get into that. I'm ready for that.
Barbados girl.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to see Nicki Minaj,
That's Rihanna, Barbados. Nikki is Trinidad.
Trinidad, right? How do I have that mixed up? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj being from Trinidad, for me, her getting dressed,
Do you even think she can dress? Because some people I looked in the comments and they was like, "This bitch can't dress."
I don't think Nicki Minaj can dress. I think
But
that
some people just can't dress.
yeah,
I can't
she's
dress,
she's
and
from
it's
New
okay.
York.
If I was famous, I'd get stylist too. Sure,
Yeah.
fuck it.
I don't
But
think
you
she can
learn
dress.
on the way, like
Right.
you know.
Right.
But
But I do think that she knows how to follow a trend,
yeah,
just like most people.
she wear a lot of Chanel.
Right. So that opens up my question about this fashion. Like, that's most people. I totally feel that there's people out here who knows how to follow fashion.
So who you think that is? Like in the famous business or just shit, famous people? They don't even got to be rappers or who you think really dressing, putting it on?
I think if I was to speak on someone who really know how to get dressed when it comes to that vintage retro look, um, I would have to give it to uh Shy Gilchrist Alexander. He's the point guard for Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, and when you go on his Instagram, you just and this is just from my lens, but just look at the way he puts his outfits together. Look at it from a lens of how I would look at it. So that means that look at it from, if I was to say fashion is an identity, that means that now look at people and what they wear from a side of who they are. And when you really look and analyze the way Shy Gilchrist gets dressed, it's very articulate. He puts patterns together and colorways together very well. And it's a very diverse way of looking that he goes about being. And if I was to compare myself to him, he is someone who I would love to dress. He is someone who I would compare my closet to if I had his bag. And that's just someone who I look up to. Uh, yeah, yeah. But my point was too, when it comes to fashion, I think that there's people who think that they should be leaders in the fashion world due to the fact that they know how to follow fashion trends. When knowing how to follow a fashion trend is totally different from knowing how to create a wardrobe and create an outfit. You know, like it's
Facts.
easy. The trend now is oversized clothes, it's oversized cargo
Yeah.
pants, it's oversized hoodies.
Yeah,
All you have to do is take the hoodie, slant it on your shoulder sideways, and now you gotta look. You take the pants, you make sure that they're a huge cuff over your shoe and a chain on the side, and you think that
And
you're
you're a
the
rock star.
best dressed
You're a little
person in the
skater.
world. And it's like, yeah, you know how to follow a trend. You know how to make a look like something, but that doesn't mean that that's your calling.
Exactly. Like you know how to put that shit on.
Or that you are now the brand ambassador of what fashion looks like, because it's totally different. There's really people out here who makes nothing looks like something
Sounds like you,
in the way they
Calvino.
articulate things, and that's why I say there's a difference between wearing something and actually styling something. And if you follow Calvino Closet with a K, you'll be able to see the difference in what I display and put on my Instagram page because I show the difference in what that looks like. So
So how many people you style?
oh, that's a good question. I've been a stylist since 2019.
Mhm.
I would say that I probably styled 12 people.
12 people?
That's it. So that's very low.
Yeah.
Very low.
Very.
But the thing is though, without those 12 people, those 12 are still residual incomes.
They ain't see
Yeah.
that
Right. So
coming.
those 12s are still
That's still good.
it's
you know.
still yearly.
Mhm.
But outside of that, I'm doing maybe 39 weddings a year.
That's
Right.
good.
I'm doing proms. I'm doing about at least 20 to 30 individuals for prom a year of people calling me. I got maybe about 5 current clients that I tailor,
Mhm.
that comes to me consistently with things.
So do you not a knit?
Not really.
Yeah.
I
I
do
thought you
That's
said
okay.
you was
to
a
the basics,
designer.
but like
Yeah.
I'm an embroidery guy.
Mhm.
I can get on that embroidery machine and really go about putting things together. But the thing with me is what people really want to see out of me is like really a whole store full of a whole bunch of clothes that I made.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see out of me. But what people don't understand is I don't want to sit down and make nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a visualist. I like to create. I can tell someone who knows how to draw,
Yeah.
right? And say, I want this to look like this, and that. Send it to my designer
Mhm.
and I need it made.
Yeah.
I'm still a designer because I designed my own piece.
Exactly. You
I just don't want to sit down and make it. I don't want to be a
Yeah, that take too
manufacturer,
much time.
right? That's
And
a designer. They actually sit down, they can sketch their own stuff and actually make it. I don't want to make anything.
Mhm.
I'm a stylist at heart first. I really enjoy getting other people dressed and putting people into different stuff, creating outfits, creating wardrobes.
So you basically like you just style people. You don't make your own clothes. You don't do none of that.
No, I did. I got pieces
Yeah.
of stuff that I made at any given time. I can and I
Yeah.
will. There's no point in me making clothes in Rochester. And it's no disrespect to nobody. I just
Mhm.
know the stuff that I would make truly wouldn't be appreciated here.
Mhm.
And it's not by saying that because somebody would hate. It wouldn't be appreciated because people don't understand the
Exactly.
level of creativity that I will really be putting out there.
Mhm.
And to me, since I see things in a perfect lens or try to, I don't want to be out here in Rochester fashion shows putting things out here that I know is just things that nobody wouldn't buy or couldn't even afford.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Talk your shit.
Because for me, I wouldn't even be putting out lines. I literally would be making things so exclusive that I will be putting out pieces on monthly to yearly basis of things
Yeah.
that no one else can ever have. I don't want to create 100
You
shorts
get
that
one
look
out,
the same.
one outfit made, and
That's it.
whoever get it, get it.
I don't want 100 people walking around the town with my name on them or my
Mhm.
face. I don't care for that type of stuff. That
That
ain't
boy
doing
different.
me no justice. That's just feeding your ego
Yeah.
to feel like you're on top of the world. For me, fashion, for me, if I'm creating something, it's gonna come from the heart and it's exclusively for you. You can't find this. So
Facts.
when everybody see it and they ask you, just know that you're only gonna tell them who made it. You will never be able to tell them where to go get it.
You sound like such
And
an
you know what
asshole,
that creates for me?
Mhm.
Word of mouth.
but
Exactly.
genius.
And that's everything.
Cause you can't go buy nothing. Everybody ain't
That
gonna
could
wear
turn
what
your
you
life
wear.
around,
That could
literally.
turn your life around. So now when I put a price on something, it has value.
Mhm.
I'm not putting a price on a hoodie that's $100 just for me to spend that $100 and see somebody in the club with me in it or have it on. If I'm creating a dress or a suit jacket or a full suit or a shirt or a whole wardrobe, I want it to be something that nobody else has on or something that most 9 times out of 10 people will be like, yo, I would have never thought to put that together.
Exactly. That's what everybody's shooting for
I literally get dressed
in the
100.
fashion business.
I literally get dressed 100 times a day, sis, because I be putting on outfits and I don't be satisfied. And I'll go ask 100 people, like if I don't know how to dress, just
Yeah.
because I don't be. That's what people don't understand. People that know how to dress still have insecurity issues. We
Mhm.
still need other people's opinion on something.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, we're still going to make our own evaluation on
Y'all
what we
still
think
learning.
look right, but we need other opinions to prove why we know what we talking about.
Mhm.
That's the point.
That's the conversation you gotta have.
And that's the fashion mind and
Mhm.
things. So no, I don't think I'm crazy out of this world,
Yeah.
but I know my talent is, and I know since I was a young boy, I've been heard that it wasn't that I can dress. People been just telling me that the way you get dressed is so different and unique.
Mhm.
That's the difference. So yes, people can dress. So I don't be in competition with people who may think that they can dress.
Mhm.
It's when I know for a fact that I can take 3 shirts, 3 pair of jeans, and 2 pair of shoes and create 100 more outfits more than you can on any given day. That's how I can
Yeah.
prove my talent to you in the fashion world. Because
That's
that's
that
where you really
shit.
got to stretch your articulate brain, and you really got to be like, yo, what jewelry, what type of accessory, what can I put with 3 shirts, 3 pants, and 2 pair of shoes to make 15 outfits and they all look completely different?
Mhm.
What can I do? That mean the shirt, to me, in my head, quickly, the shirt either can go around your neck, it can go around your waist, the shirt can go on. That's
Mhm.
3 right there. So it's just the pants, right?
Yeah.
So it's just you just think,
Yeah.
right? And that's when the mind is really going. So you really want to sit down and people want to talk some fashion. It's like, let's really talk it. Because there's literally 65 different women's sleeves. When it
What?
comes to different styles
Yeah.
of different sleeves,
65?
there are 65 different sleeves.
I would have never knew that.
There's 48 different ways to tie a bow tie,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God, 48. You said 48?
No, seriously. This is what I mean. So it's just like I can literally go up to people and start speaking a total different language.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's shoes you wearing, a type of sweater you got on, a type of piece of jewelry you wearing, and I'll be saying things you wouldn't even be understanding what I'm saying. You wearing a Cajavani style sleeveless sweater. You won't even know
Yeah.
what that means,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But I know what that
That's
means.
the fashion talk,
Because
yeah.
that's fashion talk,
Mm-hmm.
right? But people is so basic, right? And they swear that they're so out of this world. They hear they can dress and they swear that they just doing it. And it's just
Y'all don't
like,
even know what they talking about.
yeah, but that's my point. Not to get too much in that, but that's the reason why I'm not fully giving myself like I know I can. I know people see potential in me.
Mhm.
I know people know I can dress. I don't care to try to prove that.
Yeah.
I just
As
know
you
that
shouldn't.
I have a calling in so many other avenues in life, and that my time is not done here in Rochester. So I'm doing everything I need to do in this town with marketing, fashion, activism, just many different things, investing, opening up things for people until it is for my time to leave. And I know when my
Mhm.
time comes, because I'm not even 30 yet. When my time comes, I'm gonna be in a place where everything that I have built and researched and mastered up to the age of me getting into my 30s will just be released into the right area, whether that's North Carolina, Philly, New York City,
Yeah. It
Hollywood,
could be anywhere.
California. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
And the difference just gonna be people gonna be so surprised of what it is that's gonna drop and what it is I'm gonna create. But people will always know, and my credibility gonna come in when people know, like, this motherfucker been doing this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. That's why you got to document it.
It's not a rush for me. This is why people go crazy trying to put out their next line, put out their next stuff. Look at somebody else clothing line and be like, dang, I gotta hurry up and get. It's like I don't care about nobody. This is why I could
Yeah.
support
'Cause
everybody.
when you in your own lane,
When you in
none
your
of that
own
shit
lane,
matters.
you just in your own lane. And that's no shade to nobody else.
Exactly. You don't even view people as competition
At
because
all.
you just so stuck in what you got going on. None of that shit matters.
To the point that
Congratulations to
boom.
y'all that y'all keep getting drops, but when my shit drop, just know.
Yeah, just know. And I just mean that. And then when it drop and when everything really fall like it need to, people will understand. And that's gonna be more of a inspirational moment for people to learn from that moment and say, yo, he did it his way. In exactly the amount of time he wanted to do it.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah, time is time is patience.
Time is patience.
It is.
And yes, you can easily get into, oh, time is not on your side. People die at any given time. You got to live. You got to do this. You got to do that. But you got to understand that's delusional. When you do things, you got to do it right, man.
Exactly.
You got to do it with
And
good
take your
intentions
time.
first. Take your time, like you said, and do it right. And God knows your heart. So you can play all day on the internet as if you're not that hater, or you're not that person who envy people, or you're not
Mm-hmm.
that person who don't support people. But God know your heart. And if you don't let God lead your life, then he will destroy your life until you understand that it's him that puts you in the positions that you need to get put in.
Amen to that.
So trying to control your whole narratives, you're going to fail every time. And guess how I know that? Because it has happened to me 3 times already and I'm not even 30. So stop being delusional about yourself to anybody who's watching, and really go out there and get it. And when you really have that pure heart, and you're more inspired by people progress rather than hating on it, you will actually see things start to just mysteriously work out in your life,
That
because
is a
it's
fact.
pure intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And now God is now blessing you for your pure intentions. But like I said, and like you said, sis,
Yeah.
what do the media create? It creates perspectives and narratives for people to do and say what they want and not be held accountable for it.
Nobody want to be held accountable nowadays. It's just unheard of now. Nobody. You can kill somebody. They can see you. Oh, I still didn't do it.
Yeah. Because people talk so much, and you can tell the people who don't be held accountable because people
Yeah, because
just
their life
talk,
be falling
right?
fucking apart.
Because if people knew that at the end of what it is that you said you was gonna do, that everybody that heard you say it was gonna be standing at the end waiting for you to do it, you will watch what the fuck you say.
Exactly.
But because it's people that's walk around in this life with no accountability, people just be talking. People don't be doing shit with their life. They don't be doing nothing. They just be talking.
Yeah,
And they be worried about critiquing everybody else's life and not their own.
that's a fact.
And then get mad at people like me who actually
Call it out.
walk the life on calling it out. But when you try to go view my life to call me out, you actually see that I'm actually trying to live everything that I say out my mouth. So then you click off my page. So
Wait,
yeah,
before we get off fashion, I just want to say, I feel like Kanye West been, because when he was married to Kim Kardashian, he was
Yeah.
dressing the fuck out of her.
he was.
So I feel like he's a good fashionista.
I agree. Kanye West,
Like he's just different with everything. That's why he had $6 billion off his shit. He made $6 billion.
but he inspires me. And it's crazy that you mentioned Kanye West, because if I was to compare myself to somebody, or somebody was to ask me a question, who you compare yourself to, I compare the way I move to Jay-Z. I
So
compare
you say, like, when you say compare it to Jay-Z, you mean like how he moved, like him just popping out with shit?
really not
'Cause he,
showing my hand, but showing my hand.
Mhm.
Like saying what I'm gonna do and
And
really
then,
getting it done.
yeah,
And being an example on that business level, that it doesn't matter the color. Like, you could shake hands with anybody, you can be in rooms with anybody, and you can have power with relationships outside of money. And when you have power with relationships, money is going to follow forever.
it is.
And that's my philosophy right now with how I'm trying to brand myself. It's really on a Jay-Z type style. Now, when it comes to that creativity side, that having that attraction, getting people to draw towards you, you having that it factor that people can't understand what it is about you. That's where I compare myself to Kanye, because he's so misunderstood. He's a genius, and you're right. He dressed the hell out of Kim Kardashian to the point that he truly taught her how
How did you
to
dress?
get into that business world of
And
clothes
oh
and stuff
yes,
and profit.
and
People don't even see that part.
she made $1 billion.
Boom. So he
She
taught
made
her.
$1 billion.
I'm not gonna say he taught her, because her mother was first with it, but when you're around somebody and you're a couple and you live with somebody, you become what it is, and you learn what it is they do. And nobody can't lie and look on paper and say that where the success started to happen for Kim, before or after. When it came to certain stuff, when it came to business moves.
Yeah.
So yes,
Now she know how to make them business moves. Shout out to Kim.
she got the clothing line, right? And that's why I say women are boss women too, right? They know how to go in these rooms and make things happen for themselves. So before I create a narrative as if the man made her in any type of way, it ain't about that.
Yeah,
When I'm
it's
talking
not-
about the
let's
traits, the
not
skill
the-
sets, the actually learning from your spouse.
Exactly.
That's what she did.
They probably taught each other. At the end of the day, they made each other, what they is.
Right.
Just wanted to let y'all know
true.
this
Yeah, it
podcast
is.
lit.
But he has revolutionized fashion, and so has Pharrell. People don't really know that Pharrell is big in fashion right now. He's
Did
almost
the
Louis
Versace,
Vuitton.
not the Versace, but the after Virgil died, what is
Exactly.
it? The Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
He just made some new shit. That
Yep.
shit is fire.
Yeah. So he right up there with Kanye. He's just more in a lower
A
on a low
humble,
about it.
yeah,
He's
he's
real low
definitely
about
is.
it.
But he didn't make $6 billion, huh?
Right. Right.
He probably made a couple million, but not close to $1
Yeah.
billion.
Yeah. Pharrell is like that J. Cole when it comes to the
And
fashion.
Jay-Z just made another $1 billion this year.
Probably. He probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are some good people to mention because they have revolutionized what what fashion is to a certain degree. Kanye fashion, I don't put respect on it because I truly just think I really think that he's manipulating the hell out of what fashion is. Like he's trying to tarnish the hell out of it with the type of stuff that he create. But with some things, I do see the 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 future in the way he think, how he's creating things for the future aspect of things rather than the present.
Yeah.
And that's thinking outside the box. You think ahead, not now. And that's what he was doing. And I think that that's masterful.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah,
He's
so he
definitely a
inspires me.
genius.
He do.
Yeah, he just be wilding out sometime. I don't know why he be wilding out, but he do.
Yeah.
Everybody makes him fucking angry. He infatuated with Drake.
Oh yeah, crazy.
Drake can't dress. If we talking about Drake, that's just
Yeah,
saying.
you can't dress that. He just put on.
Yeah, he
anything.
just put up. I was about to say that. That's
And
funny.
he the type that you can't even come to him and try to style him because he gonna look at you crazy. Like
Right.
if he go think because he think he can style himself. You know, people like
Exactly.
that's full of themselves. You can even at one point even going towards them.
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into that entrepreneurship. Right,
Yeah.
because we talked about it. We really talked about like the difference between our community,
Yeah.
becoming entrepreneurs, and I
Mhm.
think that this is a great time to talk about it in 2024 due to the fact that everybody wants to be
Everybody got an LLC.
right.
I'm trying to get into it. I'm still reading on it. I'm trying to take some business classes and study about it. So I can't really talk too much on it, but I can talk about what I seen and how COVID it brought a lot of business down and it just shut a lot of business down. Like it was just crazy. So kind of scared me going into the business. Entrepreneur type of vibe and starting a business and the stuff that come with it, LLC, how you can get sued if you don't got that LLC, if somebody take it, it's a lot of stuff that come with it, and it's just like it's mind blowing.
See, but that's what you learn with getting a LLC. You got to understand there's a lot of people in our culture that don't know the difference between a hustle and a business who don't have a LLC where they're not even getting that type of information. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what brings us into the point of what we're talking about with trying to know the difference between being in business, running a successful business without running on survival mode.
Talk
right?
that talk.
And inside our culture, we have grown to struggle so much that we be inspired to run businesses because we're talented, but it ain't about our skill. We just don't know how to run the business. Getting to the point, if when we say survival mode, that mean being money hungry, or not just money hungry, just needing money, living paycheck to paycheck, always needing money to take care of things. So it's like you can't go into business or be an entrepreneur going into business on
With that mindset,
on
you
that
always got to
mindset.
have a little side job. Like I don't know, people be like, "Oh, I don't want a side job. I'm gonna just do lashes for the rest of my. I got it. All right. Well, see how far you get. Sometimes you got to start at the bottom to get to the top. It's no, you just hit for the top and didn't have no bottom.
Preach
Like
and a herbo.
Because
it doesn't work like that,
yeah, because I just want to eliminate the whole narrative of like black businesses suck and they don't know how to do business, because there's a lot of black businesses who do know how to do business. I think where that comes into place is just the fact that we don't know how to separate the difference between hustle and having an LLC and running a legitimate business. And when you're on survival mode, that means you're hustling. And if you're hustling, that means that you're going to go about getting the money at any means necessary.
That's actually scary.
And that's scary for a customer who wants to support you. And that's also scary for you because if something goes left, right? I can't trust that you are going to be willing to either give me a refund or have some type of policy in play that also comes with having an LLC, and having some things in play to make sure that it can get taken care of. And when you're money hungry or you're living on survival mode or you're hustling, You are just looking for this interaction to work for your interests, not for the better of both people. And I think that's where people in our culture run into issues,
Yeah.
seeing it from that perspective. But I do think if you can get an LLC,
Mhm.
understand the way of how to operate in business, go through classes, set things up legitimately, then we can help change that way
Yeah.
of thinking when it comes to us, But I'm not gonna lie, I don't be caring to really support a whole bunch of black businesses either. It's only ones that've been into business for years that
Yeah.
I try to aim to support to keep respect from, because it's a lot of crazy stuff out here. People already don't want to work in this day and age. So
Yeah. That's
imagine
right.
people taking care of your food, taking care of your bills with
Mm-hmm.
your cell phone, using your card to make payments for you, and you trusting them, and people got attitudes, or they don't want to work, or they pissed off.
Yeah.
That mean that everything that person is doing, no matter what industry it is not going to be done to its highest level, which is what is required for you to do when you have signed up in that position.
Exactly.
So this is why it's hard for me to go out here in public and patronize.
So after you get your LLC, what's the next step of going about like a business with the LLC? Because I know you
Um,
know.
yeah, after you get an LLC, the next
Hmm.
thing to do is to learn how to use your LLC.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that you got to get an LLC, but people don't know how to use it.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
So people be you just
Yeah.
and that's what I mean about us in our community. We just be wanting to know the simplest and the minimum of things, right? We
Exactly.
we we just
We
hear
don't want
that.
we don't want to read the
We
whole
don't want
book.
to read the whole picture,
We just want to read
right?
the content.
And
You
where that
know?
come from? That comes from us growing up in a childhood where we don't like to read. So if you don't like to read, right, you get older, and that correlates to you want to see the simplest of words and don't want to go through all that extra stuff. That's why
Hmm.
if you ask an average African American or
If
average person our color, do they read their terms and conditions? They'd be like, "What?
What?
I wouldn't dare read that thing. Where the box?" Right?
give me my product.
Because it just sounds draining to read something like that because your mind is not properly in function or to do
To
that.
even do
Right?
that.
That matters. Because you'll see the difference between
Yeah,
people
I ain't
who
gonna lie, I
read
did that a
and
couple
people who don't
times.
read. Because people
And
who read,
I was fucked when I
yeah,
didn't read it.
yeah. Because people who read, they be excited to read something. Oh, let
Mhm.
me see that. Get that here. Let
And
me
they be
look
like,
over it.
and the people be like,
And people who don't like to read or really wasn't fans of reading, they just be like, just tell me. Just tell me. Like, what is it? Just
sum it
tell me.
up,
I don't,
sum it
just
up.
sum it up. Right? So I don't even know why we even went on that point, but that's how it
That's,
is.
that's facts.
That's how it is. Oh yeah, but going back to the LLC, that's what we was
Mhm.
talking about. So yeah, after
Yeah.
you get the LLC, you want to know how to use it.
Mhm.
And I'm not a professional, so I'm not about to go into a workshop class on how to use an LLC for this episode. But I would say, to answer your question, that's what you want to do. You
Yeah.
get your LLC. You learn how to use it. And if I was to put it in correct form, I would say learn about an LLC, learn how to use it,
Before
and
you get it,
then
right?
get one. Right? That's really the proper way. But since most people will watch this and be like, damn, I already got one, I would say learn how to use the LLC, learn how you can put other things on an LLC. You also can get a C corp, and then you can use 5 different LLCs under the C corp, like just different things like that. And I'm just mentioning certain things because I don't know in full entirety.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be misguiding in any way. But
Exactly.
that's what I would say.
So
Good
they be in the
information.
comments like, you lied.
Right, right. So I would say
You're a
know how
liar.
to utilize the LLC, then going about getting it. So once you get it, you'll have all your ducks in a row to then use it. But understand that's why it's important when in life when they say things like, "What's your credit? What's your social? Do you have an LLC?" Because those type of things are short terms for saying how sustainable and how professional are you.
Yeah.
Where is your integrity? If I know you got an LLC, I know you know something
Yeah.
because you had no choice but to learn something, to sign off on certain things or to buy certain things. So I know you
Facts.
know a little bit on what having an LLC means and what it comes with. The same with credit. When you're buying a car, when you're buying a house, like these are just short things that people go about asking you because it's billions of people in this world to see where your life is, where your maturity is. All right, your credit is there. Okay, I can trust you. I know you want to go through this whole spill on what you're going to do to use this money, but I don't want to hear all that. We have 100,000 of these requests a day. So let me just know what your credit is. That's going to help me put some integrity to your name to know you at least pay for something, or you pay something back, or you pay something on time,
Facts.
and we can go from there.
Yeah, credit is to bring black people down. I feel like, cause,
Yeah.
cause they like, we know y'all gonna run shit up. We know y'all gonna owe us. They want you. They want us to owe.
Well, that's why it's important to know how
That's
to
why
use
they.
it.
That's why they give when you don't got no credit. They give you like 20,000.
Right.
They be
But,
like,
but guess
"Hey,
what, too,
go
sis?
play."
But that's why it's important to know how to use it.
Knowing we ain't got shit. Knowing we don't know how to use credit. Knowing we hungry for money.
But
like,
but that's my point. This is why you got to know how to use it. Because when you know something, you know how to use it against them,
mhm.
and you also know how to go around that.
Yeah.
And that's why education, when you look back in history of what we learn about, that's always something they wanted to make sure we lagged in.
Exactly.
Right? Because
you see
if
the
you
schools
don't,
they give us,
yeah,
the shitty people they give us,
Yeah.
the teachers,
yeah,
they what they learn in suburbs is totally different what they learn in the city.
100%,
Like we
100%.
not learning shit.
Absolutely nothing.
We learn about a bunch of fucking lies that didn't even happen. Like you can't even find the old history books about it because the shit was lies.
Yeah, it was all a lot of it, and most of it was lies. And it's crazy to imagine growing up learning a whole bunch of stuff just to learn that it was all lies.
It was all lies.
So and even if it wasn't all lies, it's still damage to your mind because you're thinking, what should I believe now?
Exactly.
Right? And that comes with food. Like to me, I don't even get into conversations, and I do eat organic and healthy, but I don't even get into conversations with people that talk about, oh, you need to read what's on the wrapper. You need to get organic stuff instead of this. I said, listen, if y'all really think that the government, if whatever they want to do to you to kill you off, they're gonna do. And if that is put something that's organic and then bad for you next to each other to make you pick and choose, knowing that they both the same, that's what the hell they're gonna do to you. Right? But people just be so delusional, and they just go look on that paper and it's gonna say, okay, it doesn't have sugar, it doesn't have poison.
Big scam.
But this one over here say poison, but this one don't. Get that one. Listen,
Right.
even my dumb behind know that if I'm trying to run this world and get money to myself, manipulation is a big factor in the people. So if I know this, imagine what these wicked people out here who really know something, who look at me as like this. I don't know if you can see it in the camera.
Don't have my glasses.
Is how they're really playing with your mind, with prices, with holidays coming up, and you literally see them every year put $100 more on every price tag just because it's Black Friday, and y'all still choose to talk about it and go to the stores and say
and call it a sale. Like, the next day is gonna be the same price that you paid on Black Friday.
And the next day it's either gonna be the same price or it's gonna be reduced. That was my point. I actually said it wrong.
Yeah,
right?
I was
you
gonna
know that
correct
they're
ya.
going to lower the price after it was already supposed to be lowered, right? They put $75 now. I mean, they put $25 now, but they say before it was $75 just to play with your mind. Just to make you think that you're getting it for a good deal.
No,
Oh my God, I'm paying $25 for these bag of apples. That's a deal. If I went to the store over there, I would have got it for $75. No, it should have never been $75, and it should have never been $25. But that's the manipulation that's played on the mind. So this is why my point is because the way I think, it's hard for me to live life because I already know how everything is a game, and we literally slave ourselves just to pay taxes, just for them to give money to other people for wars and just to play games with us. They out here playing Mortal Kombat and Call of Duty in other countries with our money, and we're going to work every single day, slaving hours to pay for this stuff.
Calvino, you better pray the government don't see this.
Like, they know how to run it.
So this is my point. So
is man-made.
Yep. So if I know the world like this, and I know that they got to catch everything, and they try to keep us under as a culture than any other culture in this world, this is why I try to stay to myself, and I just try to really, I go relentlessly about my success and my goals, because I just believe that if I can just get a certain amount of money, I can fucking move away. I can get my own land. I can get my own garden. I can try to make some type of sustainable life for myself and my
Like
generation.
taxes is scary.
Yeah, outside of following these government rules, laws, and ways of being, because this stuff is crazy. Gas prices going up. It's just crazy.
If the price say $19.99, why I'm paying $21.59?
Right.
Like
It's just like
I want to pay my $19.99.
like in the 80s and in the 70s, like gas was $1.25, and then now it's $4. Like, tell me what went wrong.
I'm confused.
Please tell me what went wrong. And if something went wrong, please go back in those library books in the Congress buildings and go back to what the hell y'all was doing, so we can get the same type of prices again, because this is ridiculous.
It is.
And this is what I mean, that everything is a catch. So that's why I don't put nothing past what's organic, what's sprayed, what's not sprayed. It's all a catch. They want to keep population to a certain level. Why do they want all humans learning how to live longer? They don't.
Never viewed it that way.
They don't. This is why you have to pay for water.
AIDS.
That's deep.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. For the government come get me.
They got a cure for AIDS.
Fuck the government.
Right? They got a cure for AIDS. Let's watch what we say before we get a warning tag on our YouTube channel.
Not trying to get that. I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm sorry.
But they got a cure for everything. And like I said before, as people create things to make things easier on us, or they crack what's the catch. People who crack the catch is what I say. Yeah. Like the man who learned how to use water to run a car, so you don't have to pay for gas, like stuff like that. They kill them all, right? So this is why I say the people who crack the catch, they be like, "Damn, go get them." They crack the catch. Now people know
that
this
gone.
Let's get 'em out of here.
off the fucking earth.
Right? And we see that happen yearly too, and we still go with. That's why I said at the end of the day, we are just followers.
Yeah, let's stop talking about this before we get got, because we know too much. Third eye.
Yeah, we know too much. But back to entrepreneurship.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Put your hands where I can see them.
We don't know nothing, right? We don't own copyrights. None of this that we talking. How about that? Let's put that out there.
I was just guessing.
Guessing.
This is a guess.
Yeah. Well, back to entrepreneurship, sis. Before we get to the next topic, I would just say, if we can go more about balancing, learning, keeping our integrity.
Just being honest with yourself. Stop being so delusional. If you can't dress, you can't dress. Just say it.
Yeah. When you can't dress, you can't dress. And when it comes to business, if you are talented and you do want to run a business, that's okay to run one. Just learn first.
Learn.
Just to
learn about the business, go about the ins and out.
Yeah.
I don't even know the scale, how it goes up and down. You got.
And I'm not saying this to say, oh, look at me, I'm doing it right, learn from me. I'm saying that to say, don't be like me, because I didn't have that knowledge beforehand, which is why I had to backtrack to then move forward again.
Exactly.
Right? It ain't saying, oh, listen to me, go follow my page because he knows it all. So I want to make that clear as well. But you do want to go, knowledge is important. And if you want to know the catch in life, just look back at every single thing in the history of this world that they tried to keep from us, and then go about trying to learn what it was that they tried to keep. And to me, that's the key to life, because that's the catch. And that's knowledge. That's just a whole bunch of other things. That's faith. That's knowing who we is, knowing where we come from, our history, those type of things. Once you learn that type of stuff, you can start maneuvering through the wickets of the world. And that's what I'm doing now, all the way up to the point where I'm out in the world alone. I had to disconnect myself from family, so many people.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
Because sometimes you have to. And I have heard that, but you don't understand it until you deal with it. And you think, and when you hear these stories in life when you're younger, you hear it, but you be like, you just think that you may be lucky that you don't have to experience that.
Exactly.
Maybe you that person to be like, all right, that's their story.
Yeah,
but it's
I ain't gonna go through that.
Right? But it's a lot of things in life that is similar for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's best that when you younger to start really taking what older people and what people life lessons and what they're saying seriously, and try to apply it.
It took me this long to realize what they were saying, and I'm seeing it day by day. Even if I don't even go through it, other people go through it, I still be like, damn, they said that when I was younger. Like, that's really happening. And you don't realize it because you're so stuck in what you got going on at the time. You're so young, so you just don't. But you gotta be wise. You gotta read on stuff. You gotta listen, because shit is really happening. And it's just like I said, history repeats itself. It's just in a different form, a different way.
Yeah. And it's a big difference, of course, from hearing it and actually seeing someone in your environment when you're younger doing it.
Mhm.
But this is why we're saying now, like if you could hear us out with a blunt in our hand, with some sunglasses on, looking cool, like understand that part of it. Like
Yeah.
if like just any type of lessons you hear in school, anytime you hearing an uncle or an auntie giving you some lectures or stuff and you rolling your eyes, just hear it.
Exactly.
Just hear it. Just because I'm telling you, when you get older, you're gonna remember me saying this. All that stuff is gonna play in your head as you deal with life,
It is.
and
And it's
everything
gonna
that
hit you the worst because you ain't
yeah,
believe
that's
that
right.
it's gonna happen, or
Yeah.
you just
And
being
yeah,
stubborn.
everybody life different. Yes, everybody's gonna go through a different way in what life teaches you. But at the end of the day, the lessons that you're being taught, everybody is being taught the same lessons, but the way it's happening for different people's lives are different. This is why people can get too much caught up into saying, "Oh, I don't believe everything people say," because everybody's lives is different. Yeah, that is true, but you got to understand, people's lives are different, but these lessons are undefeated.
That's a
And when it
fact.
comes to life, it's just certain things that you gotta know to help you get through life. Because if you don't know it, you're gonna learn the hard way, and you're gonna become one of the people like us. If you make it, that's gonna either talk about it
Mhm.
or someone else gonna tell your story while you're in a picture frame,
Yeah. Gone and dead.
gone and dead. Because now they're telling your story because they have learned from your death rather than learning from your actions.
That's deep, man.
And that's deep.
That's way too deep. They ain't gonna listen until it happens. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. Yeah.
So, and if you want to be loved, if you want to be loved, then
Yeah.
I would just, if I was an asshole, I would say just say that, right? But that's hard to say.
Say it,
That's easy to
exactly.
say. So I would say,
Shoot, it's hard to say I love you.
yeah. So I get that. So I would just say,
Shoot,
if you want to be
especially if you
loved,
haven't
man,
been told it.
yeah, if you want to be loved, I would say first start at church.
Yeah.
Just go to a church. You can seek guidance and leaders from there. And if that's not a safe place for you, you got
You need to pray on
you need
it.
to pray. You got rec centers. You
Exactly.
also have the
They
internet.
have- yeah.
Let's
They'll
also
fake-
use the
they'll fake
internet
love
for
you.
something positive. Let's say go on the internet, type on YouTube, men workshops or just the way to get through things, or go on TikTok and only follow mentorship pages, right? To keep your news feed at a certain algorithm. If I'm even saying it right, I'm sorry, I'm from the South, y'all. So you just want to those are the type of things that help limit excuses. Because people say it's hard for them to be on social media and it's hard for them to see what's on social media. But what people don't understand is, first of all, Instagram only gives you what it is that you follow or talk about, right? You ever notice that when you talk about things, it show up on your page?
phone,
Facts.
So this is how I know how toxic somebody is. Because I know that, I get people's phone and I just swipe through their news feed and I see exactly what pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's music video, just pointless stuff.
Yeah.
And then you go on another person's news feed and you'll see inspirational stories. You'll see people motivating, talking about how to get to the back, right? So I don't
That's
listen
my
to
page,
people
y'all.
who use excuses about social media and they try to generalize people with what they dealing with. So just because somebody accomplishing something on social media, they want to keep screaming out social media ain't real because that's a way in helping them degrade what people out here really doing. Because at the end of the day, social media ain't so fake that my videos is fake, my pictures is fake, my awards is fake. Like
Right.
it's at a certain
Everything-
point, that's delusional for people to say that.
Yeah.
Everything ain't fake. Now the perspective of how you can create a narrative can be fake, but moments are real. And it's okay for people to
People be
use
thinking everything
right?
fake.
So,
like,
but it's okay for people to use their moments to express themselves on their pages, because if you Google what social media is, it would explain to you exactly what it is. And that's for people to connect, network, see what people do, engage in what people do, and learn and interact. That's what social media is. And then you got these miserable people out here that preach, get back to real life. Social media ain't real. Like if I'm not out here in real life posting these moments.
exactly.
Really?
Has that happened to you?
It happens to me every day, sis. But it's okay.
Like they saying you a
Right?
fake page?
Right, but it's okay. But you understand how to categorize these people. And these be the same people that preach so much that they are not the people that they talk about in their statuses. And what people don't understand, and people who's smart like me, I actually think people who talk so well on Facebook and have these on point statuses all the time, actually be the people who are like what they speak about. This is why it's so masterfully easy for them to explain it in the way that they do, because
Yeah.
they are what they say.
So have you ever met with these people that thought you was a fake page and they're like, that's really you?
I do. People all the time. First, I don't really get I'm a fake page as much. I get I don't live here.
Oh,
People
okay.
still to
Yeah, I
this
get
day,
that
and I
too.
don't get that. People say, "You where do you live? Do you live here?" Because people really think that I'm one of a kind. They think I'm a beautiful man. They don't think that a man like me could be born in Rochester. Like, it's just crazy the way people think about this city. It's funny.
Yeah, I want to hear
right?
the funniest
It's-
thing you ever heard from somebody
Craziest like
Yeah.
done or said to me.
said to you.
Um,
Something funny.
well, I just heard I was at the bar one day at Studio
Mhm.
Lounge. And it was just some white women across the bar, and they was just staring at me.
Yeah.
I'm used to people staring because I stare too. I have a staring problem. So I'm used to
Ah,
people.
you
I'm used
staring
to-
back?
Yeah, I stare back. So I'm used to people staring. So
That's
I
funny.
catch everything. Because I also tell people, like, you always talk about somebody staring at you, but clearly you only see them because you staring too. But anyway, I'm one of those people. So anyway, back to the story. I seen them across over there, and then the whole night, it took them all the way to almost the end of the night, because I guess one of them thought they was coming home with me, and I don't move like that. And she came over. She said, I'm sorry. I know this may be weird, but you're like the most beautifulest man I have ever seen. Like, the most beautifulest black man ever.
Not black man.
Yeah. Like if it ain't other people out here doing it, you know what I mean? So it's just over the years in my life, I just people have really just been so sarcastic, you know?
But
But people also don't understand compliments and people insecurities comes from people.
Yeah.
People don't understand that you're only confident because of what you have heard in your life. And people be like, no, that's not true. I'm for me. I like, and it's just like everything you have heard that was good about yourself over the years, that's what you have held to you as what you identify to be something great about yourself. And anything that you have heard that was something bad about yourself, you have still to this day looked at it as an insecurity or something bad for yourself. Am I
Yeah.
right?
True.
Yeah.
Right? If you heard all your whole life you was ugly, you go believe you was ugly. If you heard your
Like,
whole life
like
you
you
was
was
pretty,
pretty.
you go believe you was pretty.
Yeah.
Whether you was thick, whether you was little, whether you was beautiful, you had a nice smile. Your eyes look a certain way.
Exactly.
Your skin look a certain way. Any type of you hear it from people. So when people play so much as if they get BBLs or if they do things to themselves for their own self-conscious, it's just like
Bullshit.
that's not the truth, because you only get your insecurities, you only get your what am I trying to say, your confidence from other people.
Yeah.
This is why it's important. This is why people
You
be
don't,
like,
you don't think you're born with it?
You
Or
could-
you can't be born with it
you
because
could
you
be
wouldn't know.
you could be born with confidence.
Because it actually you can't be born with it. I don't know. I said that stupid question because your mom teach you.
Yeah,
She tells you, "Oh, you're beautiful.
right.
You look so
That's
pretty."
if she do. That's what I mean. People
Oh,
lifestyle in childhood
yeah.
is different.
That's a
so
fact.
in our culture, how
Mhm.
much is that being said? Right? That's
Exactly.
ideal of what you may want,
Yeah.
but how much is that being said? So that's why I said that's how deep it
Yeah.
is.
That's a
Right?
fact.
So it's just like that's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
happening.
We gotta tell our daughters and our sons that they beautiful.
Or that
and-
they mean something. That
Exactly.
they're worth something, because this is why we're getting older. And the dudes is getting these tattoos on their face or trying to look a certain way or trying to just look like all these rappers because they don't know their self. Or these
Exactly.
girls are getting these surgeries or they're putting this makeup on or putting these wigs on or doing all this extra stuff.
Mhm.
They're acting like it's for their beauty, but nobody is really being their true self.
That's
So how
right.
can you truly come out your mouth and say you're trying to be something you're not, when literally every day people put on a costume to be perceived as something that they naturally is not? Imagine how much people look over that,
Yeah.
especially women and men too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying women because the ideal the feminine side of women in beauty is to another level. Right?
Yeah.
But men, we still out here putting Beijing in our beard, fake hairlines, and
Yeah.
putting these
I've been seeing
frontals
that.
on and all this stuff too. We putting costumes on too. It's getting worse for us now too. This
You
is
said
why they
costumes.
no listen. This is why they saying men turn into women. It's the truth, because we're starting to turn a lot of our standards that was for women into like making it seem like it's normal for men to be the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's gonna be no men out here with bald heads and receded hairlines and stuff. It's just like everybody go look young, polished with makeup on and all. Seriously, it's crazy, but
Yeah.
you just don't you don't want to be like
He
that. But
said
yeah,
polished.
but listen, when you think about it, sis, everybody is putting
That's so
costumes on.
funny.
Everybody's being something they not. So when you really
Yeah.
think about it, when you see people who don't put nothing on, those are the most authentic people you're gonna come across. That's the
Facts.
closest you're gonna get to authenticity. If I even can say the word right, because
Authentic.
the natural. That's people who are really living in their element. You are naturally in action loving yourself. But then the
Exactly.
women who dress up and put all this shit on, they will tell you that loving yourself is self-care, meaning put these long lashes on, these long nails, go get
Okay.
that $1,400 frontal,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what they will preach out as far as loving yourself.
Yeah.
And what feminine women that walk in their element, I love it. I got drool coming down my lips. Those women are just natural in
Yeah.
every which way, from how they get dressed to what they put on their skin to how they show their hair, so how they just everything,
Yeah.
right? They even keep their body and their personal private areas covered. That's how much they're into tune with their self.
That's a fact.
And that be the difference.
Mm-hmm.
How can you preach the difference and say you wear all this see-through stuff because you confident in who you are and you
But
walking
do you
into
think
your full
some women is confident? Do you think like
I
they still dress how a little bit would
yeah. Yeah,
showing
so to
skin?
your point, I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually do think a high degree of being feminine is dressing sexy,
Mm-hmm.
not sexual, but sexy,
See, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So yes, so I'm glad you mentioned that because that's something that needed to be said,
Yeah.
and I do think
Because
that I think something a very feminine quality about a woman that makes her look very attractive is how sexy she can look and walk and be and move her hair. All the mannerisms of a woman means something for me. I watch it all,
yeah.
right? It don't be what comes out the mouth, and it really don't be the shape.
Mm-hmm.
It really be just your element, how you are,
Yeah.
right? Like I literally will want to know what you bathe in, what type of
What?
soap you use and stuff like that, and what type of products you use for your skin before I want to know anything else. For real.
Yeah.
About what type of hair you like. Before that, I want to know how you eat. What's
Mm-hmm.
your schedule like? Right?
Yeah.
What type of stuff you use? Do you use chemical? Like, do you really care about your health? Because that stuff ties into me potentially wanting to marry you. It has to make sense to me. That's why I said
Yeah.
the way men go about analyzing a woman and how they want to marry them, it'd be totally different than what a woman think she needs to do as a quality to get that ring. Like for me, it totally be like the elements of things. Like if I'm attracted to you, I'm already thinking about the future. Can I
Yeah.
see myself with you? Are you going to be
Exactly. I'm the
60?
same
Are
way.
you going to be 60, 70 years old and I'm going to have to take care of you because you have ruined your life and your insides from what you was eating the whole time or the stuff like
Mm-hmm.
are we going to be healthy? Can I see me having a sustainable long life with you? Like all that stuff plays into a factor. Also, are you a role model to my children? Can I see you actually being a mother to my children? Can I trust you when I'm not in the room, but all my homeboys is? Like
Exactly.
all that type of stuff plays a factor for me.
Yeah.
So, but for women, they think it's just if I take care of him, if I wash his feet, if I give him a massage, if I cook him a meal, if I do those type of things, I'm gonna get that ring. And it's just like a lot of those things are just the simplest of actions of what you want to do being in a partnership.
That's a fact.
But for men who really look to get married and want a real wife, that's how they go about evaluating things. Because I know I do. I was in a 5-year relationship and I didn't get married one time because I wanted to and I had to ponder on it for so many years
Mm-hmm.
because I was evaluating her.
Damn.
And that's nothing disrespectful towards her, but this is why it's important to evaluate during the dating stage before even
Yeah.
having children so that
Exactly.
you can be about doing that the right way because this is what happens.
Yeah.
You evaluate
is-
too late and now kids is involved. So now you want to evaluate and make the decision to leave, but now this person has to permanently be in your life and you still have to have a relationship with this person due to the fact that y'all share DNA now.
Mm-hmm. That's deep.
That's deep.
Damn.
Yeah. That's why I
So
had to make sure.
so dating is important.
It is.
Dating does
Like,
not dating does
it
not
takes
mean
it takes it's honestly It takes a year and a half or a year and a two to actually know a person.
See, to
And
me,
you got to actually live with that
right.
person for a
There
year
you go.
or 2 years.
And to
You can't
me,
dating. Okay,
Mhm.
you still don't know that person,
Right.
but actually being in a household with that person, you'll know a person.
I get that, and
The
I
ins
agree
and
with
out.
that. But to me, I wouldn't even put years on it. To me, it's not even a time when it comes to that because of how detrimental it could be on your life. To me, we had to go through a phase of highs and lows.
Yeah,
Like
that is a fact.
I don't want to see you complete you at your highest the whole time, and I don't want to see you be with you at completely at your lowest the whole time. I want us to at least have some type of life longevity of time where we have went through some type of highs and lows where I can see you in every element to know what type of actions and your way of beings of how you're going to operate.
That's a fact, and
Because
that's also
when
women too.
right? Because if I can do that, then I can say I'm ready to marry you. And then I know that it's safe to have kids because it's like, what other scenario or what other things could possibly happen that we can go through now that we got kids that we now can't get through because of the years we had before of things that we got through. So I think in these generations, we get into relationships and we start dating people and we fight so hard to just keep up with the gestures and mannerisms of what it looks like of being a husband and wife when that's not the way you should look at it. You shouldn't get into a relationship dating on trying to do things as if you're husband and wife right off back. You should get into a relationship just going about genuinely trying to evaluate each other. Stay separate and start to build until things meet, meaning feelings, stability, finances, your mental, everything, until it all meets for you guys to then share something together.
Exactly.
And the thing about it is, like I said, I knew all this and I can explain all this and I still got it wrong. That's how deep it can be. And that's how fast you can fall to statistics by a decision.
Damn.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, use me as a testament. Like, use me as a testimony. I'm the poster child. Like, yes, I had so much admiration for my family. I posted it. People were so inspired by my family. Still to this day, inspired by how I was as a father, how I was as a man. And I'm still that same person. But the relationship didn't work. Right? So now I have to go back in the mirror and look at what I could have done better and also look in the mirror and check off all the lessons I learned to make sure I learned them and then move forward.
Exactly.
And then guess what? There's going to be another phase of y'all going to get that same type of
feeling.
Feeling back.
Y'all get the same type of videos, same type of pictures. Cause I'm still gonna be me, but I'm gonna be a better me.
Exactly.
Cause I would have been and had learned. And it's okay to take a L, man. I ain't hiding from nothing. I'm not ducking nothing. I'm me. I'm still me. Yes, it failed. That's cool. I still got beautiful kids from it. It ain't too much of a L. You know, my baby mother, she's still beautiful. You know. It's still so it's like I'm not taking so many L's. It's just you learn when you do things too fast or you think you know what you're doing that's right. You know, life humbles you, right? And that's all it is. But you still want to fight and be able to talk about it.
Amen to that.
Calvino got humbled.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, another point too. Yeah. So yeah, we also talked about too, and I'll let you start on it. That one where it was just like people who overthink.
Oh yeah, I'm
right?
an overthinker all the time.
So basically, it said people who overthink 9 times out of 10, those people be right. So
Facts.
what you feel about that?
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm overthinking it, I already been in that situation before.
Right.
So if I already been in that situation before, I'm seeing how you move and you move in the same way as that person that put me in that situation. So now that it's like an intuition. Like if
even if it didn't happen to that person, if that person didn't do it to you the first time, it still was triggering from what may have happened before.
Exactly.
Which is still a flag.
Yeah,
that you
it is.
see.
Like it's like an intuition. Like I said,
Intuition.
It's just that gut feeling that you know. Like you just know when you know, you know. Like when you in a situation that you feel like it's not safe, you know, you feel it. You feel the energy. Like shit just be different. When people are cheating, they move different.
They do.
You could tell.
Yeah.
Like
and sometimes they move in a better way than the worse.
Exactly.
So
like
it's both.
You used to this person moving this, going straight, and now they going all type of ways. You get what I'm saying? So I just feel like when you know, and it always be right. I feel like it'd be like 1% that's not right, but it just be like you just probably overthinking that shit. But
so to be honest, to your point, either way, whether 9 times out of 10 you was right or 9 times out of 10 you was wrong, either way, even getting that feeling, that's a flag right there because that's putting you back into the a feeling that you once left.
exactly.
So that's the point. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if overthinkers usually are right either way because you're either getting put into a position that's potentially going to cause that to happen to you again, and your body is just telling you now that this is a trait of it, or you right 100%.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm always right though. So
that's how I be feeling. So when I like people can't tell me I'm wrong.
Like I already be knowing the vibe. I seen it before. Like the way you moving. I seen that.
And the only reason I think that I'm always right is because I'm the type of person, and I think I'm always right, like where I can't be told nothing. I like to listen and embrace things, but I mean that the reason I be saying that I'm right if I'm going to approach something is because I'm the type of person I'm already going to evaluate the whole situation, evaluate every scenario of what things could be before I come to you.
Damn.
It's a fact.
About anything. You know, so it's just I be looking for you to just really be honest with me, or I be looking to see what your mannerisms is to even see like, yeah, I was right for me even coming to you. So that's why I don't be really taking people serious because people just play too much.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, Facebook know your business when y'all mad at each other. Like I don't like that type of shit, but yeah, I'm always right, so never wrong. I'm always go on my gut and my feelings, and I'm always read the room. Yeah. So nobody can ever play me.
That's right.
More than
your own self.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even think of the word.
so it's another thing we read too. It says if you're not willing to downgrade your lifestyle for a year to have the lifestyle you want forever, you care too much what other people think.
Yeah. I used to think like that when I was younger because it was so much pressure on me being around people who wanted to live a fast lifestyle knowing they didn't have it like that. So I tried to, I did have the money at the time, but I just always had to keep up this lifestyle that they had going on because they wanted to have the lifestyle going on. Me, I was just chill. Like I keep my money to myself. I don't gotta buy lashes every day. You know, I don't have to do that. It's just not me. Like I go off how I feel and what I want to do. Right. Like living the lifestyle for somebody else is definitely depressing. Right. Like, nah, living how you want to live. Live beyond your means. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because it's so much draining trying to keep up.
It's
way
not
more
worth
draining.
It's not worth it.
You find way more at peace with just doing things how you want to do it.
The next thing you know, you ended up in the hole trying to, keep up with this person, knowing that person don't got it either. So now y'all both in the hole. Y'all looking at each other like, why the fuck did I get that? Yeah. No, I ain't have it.
Yeah, because people just play all day and they victimize on social media and they talk about how they going through this or how their life is. And it's just like, yo, we watch you every single week. Go out, party, spend your money, get these expensive outfits, buy these expensive concert tickets, do all this stuff, and then you want somebody you want somebody to feel bad for you when you're going through a struggle, and this is why that saying just
struggle usually they broke.
Yeah, because that be people's main thing. They ain't got no money, not understanding you spending it all because you trying to keep up with something because you really find it because you know that it's very hard. You think it's more harder to actually put the work in for something for a longevity of life than to just do it now because you're so stuck on. That's what I mean. That goes back to survival. When you're in survival mode, man, you just live life in such a fast speed.
You do.
Because you just feel like it's never,
It's never ending.
It's never ending.
Calvino, don't do that again.
Crazy.
You just live life in such a fast speed.
And you did
live
it again?
life how you want to live.
How you want to live. Yeah.
It's okay to not keep up with everybody. You don't need to keep up with everybody. They're going to love you regardless. It's either they're going to love you or they're going to hate you. They're going to hate you for it because you don't want to keep up with them.
Right.
Because
when you get your life together, they going to keep up with you.
Exactly. And they're going to be watching you. How you got that? And you're going to just be like, oh, remember? Y'all ain't want to fuck with me because I had...
And for me, all I'm gonna say is the reason, like in a couple years, because I know it's coming for me. When people start trying to bring me back to talk and all this stuff, I'm gonna say the reason I got this is because where y'all was, you never see me. That's how I got to where I'm at.
That's a fact.
Because exactly where y'all was every single week, you never seen me. And that doesn't mean not have no fun, because I know how to have fun in my own right.
Exactly.
But for me, I'm never satisfied until my life is where it needs to be. So to me, that's why I can't really enjoy things like I want to. I'm the type where I go somewhere and I really don't get the full experience because I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
Like my
That's a
life
fact.
needs to be at peace. Things need to be flowing. I don't need to have nothing on my mind when I'm
Mhm.
going on vacation, when I'm going to concerts, when I'm on a boat, where I'm trying to travel. I don't want toxic stuff on my mind. Like, oh, am
Exactly.
I gonna have a job this day? Am I gonna come back to a job the next day? Am I gonna
I don't know
have
how y'all
this?
be living that lifestyle,
Like
but
60 hours every week. Gotta do it. 60 hours again. Oh, I gotta pay the rent, or I'm gonna use this money for the vacation. I gotta go do 60 hours again. And then I gotta
that's me
it's
right
just
now,
like,
y'all.
yeah.
China.
But it's okay when you got goals.
Exactly.
But it's not okay when you're becoming a hamster wheel with it.
Yeah.
When
It's
you
like a
got goals
cycle.
and you gotta work and you gotta do what you gotta do, that's what the story be. You
always
put
got an
stuff to the
end goal.
side. Yeah.
Like the people that
Yeah.
just be working and don't got an end goal, and then
There's
still
no end goal. You just want to have fun. You don't have no substance in your life. Like the only
Keyword.
thing you know to do is clock in and you working for money. Because money is going to create some type of happiness for you. And you
It's the
just want to
devil.
have fun. You don't want to have stability. You just want to have fun. So if your life ends today with you knowing that you was in that VIP club with all the bottles and all the women or all the girls or whatever, then you okay with that.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you have lived your life.
Damn.
Not knowing that it's so much more out here when it comes to substance on how you really want to live. And that when you really say that, yeah, time is not on our hands, that don't mean rush the process. Time on our hands just means that you want to get what you need out of life now, so that when you get to that second half of your life, if God willing you make it, you can live at peace.
Exactly. That's the whole end goal.
Right? It doesn't mean time is not on your hand. I need to party every single week. I need to fight. I need to get my point
You
across.
basically killing yourself.
You just killing yourself. I need to eat big steaks every single day. Take care of your body. Make sure that you bathing with the right products. Make sure that you drinking water. Make sure you're not just doing alcohol all week.
Exactly. Eat some fruit.
You know, take that money and make sure that you investing it in your kids before putting it into that VIP that's only gonna be for an hour.
Exactly.
You know, but your kids may need
Some
gymnastic
diapers,
classes or
like
diapers or
something.
some type of educational classwork that or
A
you could put them
fucking
in
tutor,
a
'cause
private school or
2
a
plus 2 is
tutor.
not blue.
But then y'all be so upset when y'all kids come at such products as y'all do, but it's like y'all got all the pictures in the world when your kids get older, but you have no type of investment to show them. You only got pictures to show them.
Damn.
Look what I did to you, not what I did for you. It's really look what I did to you.
That's deep.
And that type of stuff hurts me, man, for
Talk
our
that talk.
culture. And that's only because, like I come from a very poverty childhood, and my mother did the best she can. My mother, she really loved us to the best that she can and only did what she knew, right? But that also doesn't mean that she knew what was right to do.
Exactly.
But out of respect, she did what she could do with what she knew. Right? She didn't let her struggles overtake her into drugs or liquor or just to giving us up. That's the respect that goes to my mother every day of my life.
Exactly.
But there was so
Shout out to
many
Mama
things,
Gates.
right, that needed to be known or needed it to be instilled in my mother for it to be instilled into us. And that's where generational stuff happens, right? Because it's the grandmother. That's why she has mother at the end of grand, because it starts there.
Exactly.
And then it's just kids. They're products. It's just kids being a products of products of products. And the only thing changing is family names. It's more grandmas, now different nephews, different nieces. That's the only thing changing. It's just being more people falling statistics to the same mothering and the same parenting. Because it ain't just mothering. Some have both parents, right?
General effect.
So it's just a general effect. That's why it just matters,
not
right?
general
And I
effect,
love my
domino
mother
effect.
to death because she did the best she can. She did. But you fall short in life when you don't get what it is you need
That is
that you can pour into your children. right? And that's why it's hard for parents usually to take accountability when they older, because in their head they think they did everything they could. And sometimes it don't be about what you did, it be about what you didn't do.
Exactly. That is a fact.
You know, and no, you don't want to rely on what you didn't do, but sometimes what you didn't do plays the bigger role in your life than what you did do. Right? And that's for either parent being in your child life. So I just think that that type of stuff play a factor, and even to this day I can speak about it and still presently be a statistic of it. But you live and you learn.
You do.
You live and you learn, and I love it. I love my
And you
process.
try to fix those mistakes.
You try to fix those mistakes, and I it's been very heartbroken for me these past 2 years, but when I was hearing things before I got to this point, when people were saying that success is a lonely road, or you're gonna have to give up, let some people go, or some people not gonna understand your vision and stuff, I was delusional, because you just think that the people around you at that time, because they was loving you how they was loving you when you really was nothing, are gonna be those same people that's gonna support you and love you, because you can't see them outside of not that. So then when you get into that position where you are leveling up and you are successful now and different things like that, and those people are not there no more, those sayings start to make sense.
That's true.
It's like, wow. And that's where the hurt start to kick in. It's like, yo, that's crazy. Like exactly what I was hearing is exactly what's happening to me, as much as I thought it wouldn't.
Damn.
And
you
the reason
remember
you,
it or see it when you're going through that time.
Yeah. And the reason you
so
think
crazy.
it wouldn't happen is because you're delusional.
Yeah.
You young, you don't know nothing. So that be the catch of it. You young and not knowing nothing could never make it vital or sustainable for someone to tell a young person something and they get it.
Yeah.
How can you truly think your life lessons that you're trying to tell a kid, they're going to get it if they can't even connect it to get it?
That's so true.
Right?
That's a fact.
So it's just like, what really are we doing? How are we really teaching? We got to approach, and this is my first time thinking about this right now. But I think we have to start approaching things in a different light, because this is why things are going in the hamster wheel, because there's so many motivational people going to talk at schools, going to different places, explaining things that these kids can't comprehend. Because normally and scientifically, people don't understand things until it happens to them.
Exactly.
So how can we create a strategy for things to start happening to kids,
and for them to understand before
to
it
get them
happens?
to understand before it happens,
Exactly.
without scaring them straight and all this crazy type of stuff? But
it's like a curse. It keeps going
because it keeps going. So maybe this is the way we need to start tackling things.
Exactly. It's time to break that curse.
It's time, because us keep going into this stuff is only looking like we're only seeking some type of egotistical legacy of our own. Like, it's okay to be for the youth and love the community, but like everybody's doing the same stuff. So it only makes me believe that everybody is just looking to get a piece of the pie, have their name ring bells, have some type of legacy to their name in all ego ways. Because who is really looking to change? I'm one of those people to say, hey, guess what? Yes, I can go out here and fake it too. Have somebody come with a camera and me go teach at all these kids and get all these fundings and donations and get into all these positions and make it look good. I can go do that too. But the way I'm analyzing it, that's pointless to me. It's not working.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Killings is still at a high. Stuff is still going on. The city school district is still the way it is. How are we doing something different outside of seeking our own personal paths?
So true.
Because yes, you can fake it. Yes, people have goals where you can still fake it and have the wrong intentions and make it look good. You know how I know that this is the case? Because nothing has changed.
It's a fact.
So if nothing has changed, that has to be the logical answer. People are literally doing it to a certain point, and then it's literally getting nowhere. Because why is it still so many logical answers for so many things concerning not just this world, but us African American people, and it has not changed yet?
Just like you said, that's the catch.
Crazy.
So yeah, I'm not so big on all that, sis. I'm not so big on all that recording me being a motivational speaker, mentoring these kids. These kids are not being mentored.
Yeah, they're
They're not being mentored. They're not
lost.
learning nothing.
Shoot, I was lost.
Like they're not learning nothing. You clearly see. We just talked about 1 + 1 = 2. Let me give you another scenario for that 1 + 1. These kids are living in the hoods. They're around drugs. They're around parents being on drugs or on alcohol. They're seeing bottles all around them. They're listening to negative music. They're seeing blocks. And guess what else they're doing? They're hearing the music that's making them get hype. But the difference is the music and the lyrics is relating exactly to what their surroundings is. So when I say 1 + 1 = 2, that's what I mean about tackling situations. If we can literally see that all you have to do is talk about things that is literally shown in their environment in the music, which is a trendy thing that kids like, then when it comes to the educational portion of things in schools and mentoring people, maybe we need to start really being on the block with these people every single day
and educating them about
it, or actually doing close calls. Like saying maybe they right hand man died in a shooting and see how they feel, or have these kids really experience feeling. Because you don't know unless you know.
But now they can't because they in the streets now.
Right. So let's take some of these kids and maybe come up with some scenarios and put these kids like I don't know. But something I do know. And what I do know is what's happening now needs to change.
It does.
It needs to be a different formula because it's the same stuff in the city school district when it comes to fighting violence, when it comes to politics. It's all the same thing. The only thing is changing is the money and how much people is getting paid and the positions of power in which people are in campaign for. That's the only thing changing. So back to 1 + 1 = 2. The only thing I can evaluate from that is that this stuff is just job positions. And you are just required to talk about what the job description is. And if that say mentor kids, that's what you are to do to get a check. Because nothing is changing.
It's not at all.
Nothing is changing. So we need to get we can't keep talking about stuff to these kids. These kids are not getting it. Because we clearly see as more kids get older, we talk about it like this and we say the same thing. And this is what it is. I wish I listened to what my elders or people that was older than me were saying.
That's a fact.
When I was younger. I wish I understood it.
Yeah.
That's what we always say. So let's start taking things that older people are seeing that's happening, and let's try to reverse psychology on it. And that's how we make and go about tackling things, because keep doing the same thing and talking about it is not helping.
Not at all.
Because it's only at some point that you want to continue to fight for the community until it gets to a point where you want to start getting paid for it, or you start getting tired for it, or you need to start feeding your family. Exactly. So my point is not to put nobody out there, but yes, at some point, maybe a lot of our community leaders went into this with the right ordeal of really trying to fight for things and really going in with the right spirit. But 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line, still being in the same position or still fighting for the same stuff and nothing is changing, that's not helping. And I'm sorry that we taking one person out of every year and we're showing where the change being implemented and we're thinking that it should be a celebration. Because doing all this work just for one person ain't helping either.
Yeah.
This is a huge culture project.
And we need to get on it ASAP, because we got to teach these young folks how, like what they said and how to go about everything, instead of just doing what the internet say. Because we just following the internet. Our heads is so deep in the internet, it's crazy.
Yes.
Like these kids are killing themselves.
Yes, and people are wicked out here. So for me to not think that humans and people will even go to the furthest extent to act like they are doing for the community for the right reasons, or actually really setting up non-for-profits for the right reasons, or actually really wanting donations for the right reasons, it would be blasphemous for me to even think that. Because I know people are out here wicked and people be in it for their own intentions.
They do.
And especially back to if you're living off survival.
Yeah.
People know how to do things. And if you know that that is a tactic or a way to make money while still looking like a hero, I'll do it too.
Exactly.
If I'm going to die a hero too. Right? So for me to know that the school district is still the way it is, for me to know that homeless people are still out here on the streets, for me to know that laws is still into play, people are in it for their own good, and that's for their own last name. That is it.
Nobody got pure attention.
And until things actually change for the whole of everybody and not just pulling one person out of the millions to show, hey, it works, then I'm this stuff got to change, and I'm not going to be so fond of it. I'm not. This is why I don't do as much. I don't be out here really.
But we gotta really start making a change.
We do.
Going to these schools and expressing how we feel. Because I'm pretty sure kids feel the same way.
Yeah, but it has to be. My point is, sis, it has to be the people who are in it right then and there has to go in there.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be these hood dudes into the school, talking to these other hood dudes from the same block, explaining to them. Because they clearly, we know in school, everybody go want to, when stuff is not cool to kids, they don't get it. You get it after the fact.
Exactly.
When it's not cool, you have to make things cool. And there's ways to do it. But these are not the ways coming to school just to record yourself, to create a resume, or to have content to post. Like, we are doing it for our own means.
Exactly.
For our own funding, for our own donations, for our own non-for-profits, for our own write-off and tax write-offs. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Like, I'm in that generation where I'm the up and coming of the one that should be in these positions in the city and all that stuff. Like, we're in that phase where we're next. Like, I only see what it was that I see in my leaders. And I've been seeing this from the beginning. Wow. Because I've been in it so deep, sis.
Yeah.
This is why I feel the way I feel.
Yeah. You should.
So until things change, I'm going to feel the way I feel.
You're going to keep feeling out the way you feel.
Because these leaders are fighting.
It has to change.
Yeah. Like, they're fighting, sis. They literally fighting each other. This is my point.
That's what they want to see.
How can I see you actually speak on what's going on in this city when I actually know that there's another leader that's fighting for the same thing you fighting for, and y'all don't even want to be connected with each other? So how can I think that you have the best intentions for us when you're moving foul on that end? Things need to all line up to be intact. This is why I stay out the loop and stay out of cliques and stuff, sis. I don't do business with certain people, even when I know that it would be in my best interest to actually connect. Because I have did my evaluation on people, and people actions speak louder than people words for me. And that's how my mind process stuff. This is why it's so hard for me to be manipulated. Because I see people move certain ways. And when you start learning stuff about business and you start to see ways that you can get money and start doing things without going to jail and stuff, your mindset change. And that may actually make you start to become something different. Yeah. And be that hero and make it look like you're actually for this community, but your actions really show that you're not. And people, sis, people are a masterful manipulator, sis. People play so good. Like, people are great actors. And you think that these people getting millions of dollars like Denzel West, they only getting millions because they're bold with letting people know that they're great actors. Because really, sis, everybody is some good ass actors, bro. Yeah. If you want to fake something and you really want to do it, people can do it.
Yeah, of course.
That's why it takes time to read people. Whether it's friendship, relationship, no matter what it is, that's why it takes time.
Yeah, you acting right now.
You have to go through ups and downs.
Get in a relationship or kind of situationship and not any different.
Not different.
Like, what the fuck happened? I thought you was nice and you was cool.
Yeah. I don't want to see no surprises when a ring on your finger and we three kids in. I don't want no surprises then. And this is why I know that was really my first real relationship with respect to any other women that I may have had in a relationship with. So I know that was a learning lesson for me to get exactly what I need now. Yeah. You know? And
that's good. You look back on it and learn from the mistakes and just accept what you did. Because some people, like you said, don't take accountability.
Yeah, but I also could be delusional to that too. Because some people play delusion and play like their kids is meant to be here. No, your kids is really a mistake and a product of your mistakes. But to help you get through it and to help you continue to move past it, you have to be delusional and say, my kids was meant to be here in this way. No, this is adultery. And God explains in the Bible exactly how you need to make sure your kids is in here. But you still want to use God as the reason of why you feel like what you did that was a bad decision was meant to be. No, that's delusional. So it's hard for me to even say that.
Talk that shit.
Yeah, sis. So it's hard for me to really even say that my kids is meant to be here.
Yeah.
Because that's just me delusional saying that that's why that happened. No, I was doing things out my own will. I was doing things out of adultery. I was doing things not by God's way.
Exactly.
And this is a product, and I'm a statistic of exactly what that looks like when you do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, since
That
I stay
makes-
away from people, don't it make sense?
It makes so much sense.
And people are so delusional, and they're great actors. And like I said, back to this, if you ask everybody, if they're not haters, if they're not envious of people, if they don't, everybody's going to say they're not that person that they talk about.
Yeah.
And people really do be. It's just people choose who they want to be like that with or not.
Exactly.
Everybody got people who they look at that way, in a negative way, just out of nowhere. You got that feeling where you just don't like that person. Everybody deals with that. And just like you got people who you see that's genuine, who you really support, everybody got those people. People just choose, because it's an act, on who they choose to want to do that with, because people be so invested on wanting to be liked. And if you in an industry where it takes people to pay your bills, you can fall in that trap so fucking fast.
Exactly.
Because you would do anything to take any measures to stay liked. Even if that's faking a facade, acting like you support people, like people, or that if you're in no competition with them, just to really be analyzing them and know that they applying pressure on your ass. But you go act and you go play as if you are open to mentor, you are open to do this, and you're open to collab, and you're open to do this because that keeps you liked.
Yeah.
People know how to be liked. They know they know how to be liked. You'll yes, people know.
Yeah.
And when you're a person like me who don't care, oh, you live a hard life.
Yeah.
Your likes don't be there. Your nothing be there. You can have the best of everything, and nothing go be there as if you ain't, because people don't like real people. And I'm a loner for a reason, because it's very easy to not like me. You know why? Because I see through all the bullshit.
Shit.
So it's easy for you to not like me.
Yeah.
If you do weird shit, oh, you ain't gonna like me.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna like me.
You cut the fuck off, and I gotta tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck you
You
did?
cut off.
That's weird.
And I'm gonna hope nobody else around, because now everybody gotta hear why you weird. And I'm not even a person that talk about people, but now I'm gonna start talking to everybody. Everybody in the room gotta know, just because you did that.
Word.
So now everybody know.
And now everybody looking at you like, oh, okay.
It's just crazy, sis. But I'm big on that, and this is why I say that I don't even be caring for the support like that, because I know my value. I know people watch me. I know I have support from the city. I know people know who I am and what I've accomplished. Like, I know this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so easy because social media creates this perspective for it to look like people hate me or people don't support me, or it's a reason why people don't like me. Like, people love me. Like, I do what I want in the city. Like, if I want to go to a concert, I get in free. Like, if I go to a restaurant, people usually notice me, and they just give me a discount or give me a free drink, or like, I get treated well.
Yeah.
But it may not look like it because I am not fond of fake people. And maybe in this city, it's just more than not. Because there's some everywhere. But in this city, it's a lot more than not. It's a lot,
exactly.
I tell you, because there's so much talent here. And this city is very cool. But it's so much fakes. Yeah. And this is why the fakes only stay here. This is why they really don't move nowhere else. And this is why they fight so hard to maintain that throne. Because they wicked. And they really know that wicked shit can't work nowhere else. This is why people know that they really on high value. They leave. And they know that they could take their talents anywhere and prosper. And I know for a fact I can. It's just my time not up here. Because anytime I choose to do that, God shows me exactly why I need to sit my ass down and why it's not best for me right now.
That's a fact.
But yeah, people time is coming, sis. But because there's so much talent here, people play sides and people play games and act.
Yeah.
And I can't act. So this is why I'm okay with being a villain. And I'm okay with people just having a clout, having all this stuff. I don't be caring about that stuff.
Yeah, me either.
Because people be fake. And the same people that play like they are the ones here, that they got the most popularity, that they doing the best, they got the best numbers. When people that really make it famous, that really go global, it be them same ones that really ain't going nowhere. That only stay here and keep their hype.
That be like,
that be in the comments, asking for the opportunities, wanting to get involved, wanting to be in the picture, wanting to do some type of collab, wanting to.
I can't wait for my time.
Why? Because they know that the clout is there. Yeah. So that's a marketing tactic to get into someone else's light. And that's what people do. Some people be so wicked that they get into people like to try to dim it or to try to cause some type of problem.
Talk
Drink
that
some
talk.
water.
I'm
And
trying to
sis,
tell
it's
you.
so much of that here. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
and you'll be surprised because the ones who you think are not it are
those?
it.
Exactly.
You know why? Because I was it, and I had to learn how to get out of my ways, sis. You know why? Because I was black and I grew up in a culture where that is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I could talk about it, because it's not me saying that I never was it. I can just confess that I was that type before.
Yeah.
I had to get out of that type of misery.
Yeah. Because
I had to get out of thinking that way. That is such trauma. That's a generational curse.
it is.
So this is why I don't play games with people, and this is why I stay away from people, and I don't even give my access to people, because I know even if I give my access and they try that shit, that they go play victim and make it look like you crazy anyway.
Exactly.
So it's pointless of even going. I don't even go by it.
Damn.
Yep. But that's deep, bro.
That's deep.
But if you want to know the definition of this city, I just gave it to you.
You did.
Because it's so much talent, and there is great people. But the great people become the victims and they become the villains. I'm telling you, sis.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Because I swear, it's nothing for the past 2 years. There has been nothing that I have posted that I have cared to get recognition from in any way. I post it because I just love content. I love the way I move. That's how I brand myself. I am the brand.
And
So
you're
in
the
every which
man.
way, I have to be that way.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have careers or walk in life where they have to be that way like that. Some people just do it because they just want to be flashy and stuff. I do it a certain way because I keep a certain following for my brand, because I am my brand. I want to be able to put my name one day on a building and it just gets money towards it because of the name that's on there.
That's a fact.
Like Trump. Trump is
Absolutely
a name,
not.
it's a brand.
It is.
So you can put your name on anything and make money from it. You don't even have to have a product. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And influence. This is why I move the way I move, sis, so precisely.
As you
And
should.
everything I do, even with the relationships I have or who I'm seeing in pictures with. Because you have to.
Yeah.
Because people are wicked and people move weird.
Yeah.
and
They always
if-
pray on your downfall.
And having access to people, you give people a benefit of the doubt to create a narrative on you, to lie on you, or to say anything. All somebody have to do is be close to you to create a narrative.
That's a fact.
All somebody have to do is be seen in a picture with you today and create a narrative as if y'all beef or got some type of problems. When literally you just took a picture with that person for 1 second. That person wasn't hanging with you the whole night. That person wasn't nothing. But that person could post a picture and say, yeah, this nigga right here I took a picture with, threw a drink on me after this picture or did this just to get famous or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
you
it's
do it all the
easy
time.
on social media for people to just create things. This is why you have to watch who you give your access to. And I do. I don't get people
Yeah,
a way to
same.
create rumors or try to create a problem with me.
Mhm.
Because I could be at bars or at clubs and people could envy me and just try to create a problem. Imagine how
Yes.
much fights I could be in, how much beef I could have out here.
Exactly.
Or how much women could be looking at me if I'm in these parties or in this shit and now I'm having a fight outside. This is why I don't give my access to people. When you know who you are,
It's not
You
arrogance.
can't.
He's just
that
confident.
is a fact.
and if that rule just makes people think, oh, I don't like him because he play as if he's better than people or he's arrogant or whatever, if it makes you look like that, that's cool. But guess what? You be at peace. You get to live, and you can have a better heart on a better statistic of not being taken advantage of
That's a fact.
when you give your access to only the right things
The lonely
That's
road.
why I don't give
or try to.
I don't give my access to people.
Yeah.
People are not who they say they is.
Yeah. And the world helps people not be who they say they are every day. And this is why it's scary, because it ain't just people who naturally are that way. The world continues to evolve to make sure it stays that way. With technology, I can imagine in 2030 what type of apps gonna be out next.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
these kids
It ain't gonna
go
be
off
no
the
privacy.
deep end.
It's gonna be, when I say it's gonna be all the defenses, it ain't gonna be able to be no traffic. People gonna be getting out in the middle trying to record something, do some stupid shit, be in the middle of the
We
road
ain't
to try
gonna
to
need
get
no
money.
news people no more because we're gonna be the news.
Like literally, America gonna be a whole circus show.
Like,
Imagine how much money you can make from recording yourself doing stupid shit, or
yeah.
dancing, or doing some comedy, or going in stores breaking stuff just to get views.
Yeah, just to get views.
This world is going to be a clown show.
It's crazy.
It's masculine men out here
Yeah.
doing goofy, crazy shit.
It's nuts. This world, I don't know. They say the world's ending. I believe it at this point. The way people are, it's drugs too.
Drugs too.
Yeah.
All these new liquids that you drinking too.
Codeine.
And all this
that.
junk.
Yeah.
And then guess where you hear all these names from? We're the rappers. You see how the rappers is what gives the names to all the stuff we use?
They be like, go ahead.
Codeine, Piff, the P's pushing P. Like they give us all our language. They give us all our fashion.
We can't hear you.
Oh shit. This is why I gotta make sure I say this in the mic. They give us all our language, these rappers and these puppets. The ones that the government runs, that they give them all the money to make them look so rich to make people like us follow them, right?
Yeah.
They give them money. They give us the language. They give us our language. They give us what hairstyles we're gonna have. They give us what clothes we're gonna wear. They give us what topics we're gonna argue about for the month.
Yeah.
They give us what type of relationships we should be in. They give us what type of relationships we should try to operate to be in. Literally, that's what hip hop. Hip hop is so big on our culture in so many of the worst ways.
Yeah.
And then you got these hip hop artists get up onto these cameras and in these interviews and say they can't believe that hip hop lasted this long. I fucking agree. I can't believe it lasted this long either. And that's not a compliment to the industry of hip hop.
Damn.
That's not, because it's just like, where is the real music? Like literally hip hop and music is moving this culture like no other.
Yeah.
When it comes to apps, like everything. It's literally like these rappers should be the president. That if any one of these rappers ran, they have a possibility of winning. That's how much the influence is.
That's crazy.
That not even presidents in politics have more influence than average people nowadays, due to the fact of their caliber and their value in life and what they do. Puppets, straight puppets. Yeah. And if you poor, how easy is it for someone to come to you with an opportunity and for you to be like, hell yeah, I'm signing up for this.
That's a fact.
I want it all. So imagine living a whole life where you're in the hoods, and like we just spoke about at the beginning of the episode, people going out their way to make it look good.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting sent with if I'm getting sent with an opportunity to make it look better, to really crab, to really
jump on board quick,
to really be the crab to climb over. Oh, I'm signing up for that. Whether it's Illuminati, no matter what it is, I get to look like this and make all my people look and look down on all my people and make people want to be like me. Yeah, I'm gonna sign up for it. Why would I not?
Yeah,
and if
that's
they even mean
up.
sacrificing one family member, I will. And then, like you said, be broke.
They do it all the time.
They do it every time, sis. And this is just a consistent thing for us. We're overworking ourselves. This is why I'm totally okay with my life, with struggling and not having it all. You know why? Because I literally would rather live my life until I die, fighting to do something I want to do and that I love and make money from that, than to work myself to death.
Exactly.
For another man's dollar or a dream, or to have the basics of things. Because everything is so high. So you literally, if you really add things up, it don't add up with how much you make and how much stuff is.
Yeah.
But because we're so uneducated and nobody has the time to sit down and try to think about what politics doing out in Washington and stuff like that, we don't think about it that way. But we really don't make enough to even pay rent, let alone everything else you will need outside of rent.
Facts.
Exactly.
Imagine that. Imagine everything else you need outside of just literally
like we
paying
just
rent.
making it to.
You're just making it to pay rent, and every single day, our culture, after knowing statistically we're the worst of the worst out of every culture, we still get on these social medias and play as if we're not just doing better than our culture, but we doing better than the white people and every other body too. We delusional.
Delusional as ever.
We delusional. We can't act like we traveling the world and we driving these cars and we living in these houses like everybody else when we know damn well that America is not even set up to allow that shit to happen.
Now that's some shit.
Okay?
Word.
Like it's not even set up to allow it.
That's
The best you get is going through the Illuminati or signing your life skills over to a record company and having to control your music.
Get into
or whatever.
Illuminati now.
Right? But we ain't gonna get into that. But I'm just saying that's as far as I'm gonna go into it.
Yeah. That's a fact though.
Well, yeah, that's some crazy stuff. Sis.
Yeah.
And when you think about it like that, about everything that we talked about, it's crucial.
Yeah.
It's crucial, and it just
Definitely
makes us.
some
It
good
just
points.
makes me. Yeah, and it makes me feel. It's hard for me to continue to fight for my culture while I also be angry and disgusted with us too.
Yeah.
Imagine how hard that is. Because just like some shit you know is wrong, and you just choose because you want to be cool
To turn the other way.
to
like,
be the other way, and it's just like why it's just like come on. And then there's some stuff where it's just like this ain't our fault, but it's so much shit that is where it's just like where do you start? And this is why I said why are we doing some of the same stuff that we can go back in the 70s and find people still doing? And just think that it just takes 50 more years for it to finally work?
Exactly.
That's what people 50 years ago said now. The same with back in 2009 when they said the world was going to end and it didn't. And then back in 2012 and then back 2020 and then now it's going to be 2030 and somebody in 2020 going to say
Okay,
the world
Calvino, we get it.
It's just bullshit. People keep dying off with the same narratives, and that's how the government and the people keep their world stagnant the way it is. Because before you even have the time to fully live or educate yourself to know the game, you're dead.
Okay, Calvino,
This is
I
why
think
they
that's
keep you
enough.
slaving to work. This is why you have to start straight from newborn, straight into daycare, straight into preschool, straight into school, from school straight into the workforce, from the workforce straight into a career field, because you do not need to have time to yourself to sit down and pick up a book and learn the ways of what the world is really doing.
That's a fact.
Facts.
Right? You
Now
don't
you're
have the
talking.
time because you got bills. They throw bills at you. And they say you either going to be free and learn the real ways of the wickedness, or you're going to pay your bills and work hard and put your time towards one of these CEOs to be able to live on this earth that God gave you, or you spend your time struggling, being an entrepreneur, learning, picking up books, learning your history, and trying to maneuver around and make change.
That's a fact.
Right? This is why it's always 1 out of a million that try to make change.
That's why I said it's a scam. We supposed to be living rent free.
Right.
We supposed to be
So what is really an
crops.
activist when you think about it? What is really a president? What is really a mayor? What is really mentors? What is really a school board?
Absolutely nothing.
Damn.
What is really a community? What is really Black culture? What is really music? What is really hip hop?
Absolutely nothing.
What is really fashion? And when I continue to go through this, I'm saying this because what are we really doing
That's a fact.
in our culture?
Absolutely nothing.
And I don't even like tying it to our culture because it's crazy how I have to say our culture and explain it in ways that I'm explaining it, because really, if you educate yourself and pick up books, the definition of what our culture means is more powerful than any other culture in this world.
Absolutely.
And because we don't know that, this is why we only look at our culture for what they display, of what they tell us. They tell us what our culture is. They tell us what to wear. They tell us what to celebrate. They give us 1 month of celebration or a week. Matter of fact, they don't even give us they give us a week of Black month,
It's
Black
Black
month,
History.
Black History. I can't even say it. Black History
Month. They gave us a month.
Okay, they give us a month. They give us our leaders. They say, okay, Martin Luther King will be an idol for you guys. All the people that we killed, that y'all thought had a voice, we're going to make sure that y'all inspired by them, so y'all can learn that if y'all go down the path they did, we gonna shoot y'all in y'all head too. That's what we're going to do. But learn from them, cry over them, and clap for them, okay? We're going to give you days. We're going to give you a Frederick Douglass Day. We're going to give you Black History Month, because we want you to spend 1 whole month out of the year understanding that you're lucky to even be walking on the same earth as us, okay? We want to make sure for a whole month you really know what we did to you. We want you to relive this every generation, every month, so that you don't lose sight of what we did to you guys. And then we also going to give you IMAX 1080p quality movies that's going to explain to you exactly what we do, and also going to give you narratives of exactly how this world works and really what type of technology out here, really what type of stuff we really do out here. And we're going to put it in movies as an act and put it in a whole show for you guys to watch. And we're going to give you popcorn, and we're going to show you exactly what we're doing to you and make you buy tickets to go see it. And then when it really happens 10 years from now, we're going to play as if we didn't know it was happening or going to happen. And we're going to see movies like G.I. Joe, who had the same type of technology back in 2007 when they made the movie, and I could be wrong on the date.
You are.
That shows the same type of technology that they show us in movies that we were blown away by, that we have to this day that we don't even think about. We don't even shed a tear. We don't even flinch an eye. We just look at it and be like, wow, you know why? Because our mind was already programmed to know the type of stuff that's going to be out here. Come on. Like, make it make sense.
It does.
And we know this type of stuff, and we continue to every single day be on a hamster wheel with so many things. That's why at the end of the day, I have to keep saying, what really is it? What is activism? What is Black culture? What really is it? What really are we doing as leaders? What really are you doing as mayor?
Absolutely nothing.
We really need to start evaluating the descriptions of what these roles entail.
That's a fact.
Because it only makes sense for me to understand that people that are in these roles have a life too and have to get paid. So if things don't happen, these same people like politics, law enforcement, EMT workers who gotta show up to people who shot, drug dealers, all these type of people can't make money if these type of things get fixed.
That is so true.
So if these type of things get fixed and we lose billions and trillions of dollars, I can totally understand why it's valuable to keep this shit this way. Would you?
Yeah.
It would only make sense to keep this stuff this way if these people are going to be out of a job, right?
I mean,
Right?
might as well.
Right. So what are we doing as activists and mentors, really?
Nothing.
Nothing. Or what? Not that they're not. I'm not going to. Let me put respect on people's names who are out here fighting. It's not that you are not doing nothing. It's that what's being put in, what you're putting out there is not going nowhere in no time and no century and no generation has it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying. It's not putting no type of tarnish on what you go out here and fight to do, because that takes time, energy, and it's stressful. Yeah. And it takes money. People come out their own pocket.
Yeah, they sure do.
But at the end of the day, I want to help change this world too, but I don't care to follow the trends of this same type of stuff. I don't want to just be no influential speaker who talks about change and all this stuff, and all it's doing is putting dollars in my pocket.
Exactly.
And it's not changing nothing.
A real activist.
Yeah, and it's giving me views,
making change.
Yeah, and it's giving me views and it's giving me likes. Since I know that that's what it's going to do for me as a result, this is why it's hard for me to continue to go out here and battle this shit, because I'm educated now to know just where things need to change, of where I know for a fact it's not going to.
That's a fact.
And I know who needs to do it. So until I see those people doing it, or those positions being removed, well, it's just literally a waste of my time. And if anybody feel any type of way, prove me wrong on that. Please, the comments are open. Help me understand what I'm not understanding, because we are decades in, and yes, things get better, but how are we doing 50 years plus with only the smallest of things changing? Why every 50 years we have to go from, okay, now we can wear clothes, to, okay, now we can share the same bathroom, to now 50 years later, now we can eat on the same plate, to 50 years later, now we can, like, it's just like come on, this shit can be fixed today, okay? We can burn these laws and burn this stuff up today and act right. And we choose not to, in a world while every other country is eating different. Their culture is different. The way they take care of their people, most of them, not the dictatorship countries. You're talking about countries that you probably won't know because they don't want you to know.
Exactly.
Do some research. These are countries, this is what I mean. You probably don't even know what I'm saying. But there's countries out here that got free healthcare. They got cheap rent, but beautiful houses. They live in big houses, but cheap rent. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg for property. Like you get good jobs, good pensions. You get way more money for, like, yes, there's countries out here, y'all. It really is. Yeah, but you only go to know the ones that's dictatorships, who they're going to put out there the ones that you don't want to go to, so that so it makes it look like you got it good here. They make the worst the countries you should go to, they make look like are the worst of poverty levels, are the most dangerous ones to go to. But guess what? They're the ones with the most minerals, the cleanest water, the best land, the best soil. Literally. And this is what I mean. Everything we're told. Everything we told is a lie. It just be a lie. Everything. Like, literally, I got a lot of white friends. That's why it's hard for me to just continue to say white people, white people, white people. Because when I say government, I really just mean white people. But I have to say the government because every white person ain't the same no more.
Yeah, they not.
At least I will hope to believe that, right?
Yeah.
But I have to say government because this is what they do. They make it seem like and we have the worst country and the worst way of living ever. You talk about being slaves. We the real slaves. Them Africans grow up in a tent on the ground in dirt. They make food with rocks and they be way more at peace than we do in these big old houses trying to slave 60 hours a week to pay for.
Yeah. That's a fact.
And these people be with their families with a bed cover over their body as clothes, and be at peace
and
happy, getting everything free, chopping down free wood off trees to make their house, growing free food that God put on earth, actually living by the ways of what natural earth and what God put out here for us.
Exactly.
Animals do it.
To that.
Other countries do it. Other cultures do it. The only people who don't do it is America, and then the black culture that's in America. We are the people that have built America, us blacks, and we have the biggest dollar in America, and we also keep every other white wealthy person rich. Black people. We just are it. Like, for us to be kept so under, we supply this whole fucking country.
We sure do.
With music,
don't
with
give them
food.
all the sauce.
Right, I'm sorry, sis.
Don't give them all the sauce.
You right. You right. But it's crazy.
It is.
And literally everything we do, they teach us the opposite, as if we wasn't the ones who did it. Everything that's a white face.
They want to take everything.
Yeah.
Take.
And that's why I said it's a catch, sis. Why out of every culture and every race, specifically black people, since the beginning of time, people have kept to manipulate into a certain way.
That's true.
It has to be a catch with that, because if we were
always
so of nothing,
everything is a scam.
it wouldn't have mattered for us to be here.
But
But
they needed us. They still need us.
There's a system in place that America is built off of.
Yeah,
that pertains specifically for black people to literally keep the dollar circulating.
We're still in slavery.
Prisons.
We're helping them.
Yep. Prisons.
They're not helping us.
Food. Population.
We already figured it out.
Our blood. Our DNA. Like you said, we already figured it out.
They want everything of
Calvino,
us. They just want to be like us. Everything is about us. At the end of the day.
And they literally make us, and they literally fight.
And they make us the bad guy and make us fight each other. Yeah, it's all a scam.
Yeah, but that's why I say
we just playing the movie role.
We're playing into their hand, and I just feel like the only difference is, like I said, slavery was physical before; it's mental now.
Yeah,
and when I said that, it meant straight to this point, because we literally know, and we have way more tools to unveil the shit, and we still choose to go one direction because it's easy and it looks cool too.
We try to, but shit don't go as planned. I mean, we can only do so much for ourselves with a world full of white people.
But we're the problem, because if women started to stand together and say, we don't like men who sag pants, we don't like men who sell drugs, we don't like men who wear beards or beat up women or who wear this type of that and that, men will change, because men do things for the opinion of women and women do things for the opinion of men.
Good point.
And if men start saying we don't like women who wear tight pants, get BBL surgeries, wear fake hair, wear all this colorful shit, and it was the right men who said it, women wouldn't do it.
Damn,
yeah, we're
that's
gonna
facts.
talk about this next topic.
We will. Yeah. We are our own issue in so many ways. That's so much outside of what the government or the white man do to us every single day.
That's a fact.
This is why at some point,
like, they could do it, but we can't do it to each other.
But we can't do it to each other. Or they can do it to us, but we get mad when we do it to each other. Or we get mad when they do it to us, but don't get mad when we do it to each other, is what I meant to say. We just be hypocrites of each other. And this is why it's so easy for black people to be like, I don't want to be bothered with other black people.
Yeah.
This is why it's easy for a woman to say, I might just go get me a black man. I mean, a white man. Yeah. Or a black man saying, I might just go get me a white woman. Like, mother effers don't want to be fooled up with our culture. And it's crazy that you got to look like a villain or look like you getting portrayed by your own race just because you don't want to be fooled up. People get tired. Yeah. People get tired, and some people just don't got time or just don't have the patience in their life no more to care to try to continue to get with a black spouse, whether it's a man or a woman, and have to continue to fight these traumas every single day. Some people just want to get older, and they already know what to not do, and they just put themselves in position to not have to worry about having to deal with it.
Exactly.
So they get with white people, or they build white families, or they make white people or white communities their home. And that's not good. No, it really ain't. That's really like another portrayal.
Reality.
But you have to understand why people get that way.
Yeah.
It has to make sense. We can't just continue to see these Candace Owens and these other people who we think is just such anti against black or don't like black people and really start to understand why what makes them think the way they do. Do we really do what the things that they say, or are we just upset that they're pointing out things that we do that we just don't want, like the Kevin Samuels and stuff? Like are they really bad people? Or are we really just so much as a culture we never going to want to take accountability for what we are and how we are as people?
That is a fact. That is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna break this one up.
Yeah.
We gonna make sure that we really get topics out of this one, sis. Yeah. Because us having interviews with people, it would have been hard unless we got someone on the mindset like me and you to dive into that.
Right.
So we usually interview a lot of rappers and people with music and stuff.
Yeah, we gotta start.
We can start getting through the whole variety of people.
Yeah, I think we should.
To start opening up these type of conversations, because this is the type of stuff that's going to be intriguing to people outside of just doing interviews to get people spotlight and their music out there or whatever the case may be.
That's a fact.
Because that's a thing too. But good substance of conversation is needed. Yeah. This type of stuff that we talk about.
I want to hear everybody's thoughts on it. Yeah.
And even though I talked most of it, and you chimed in, this type of stuff needed to be said.
Yeah.
Facts.
And I'm glad you said it.
It needed to be recorded. It needed to be something that is footage that can be put out there to the world, whether we're dead and gone, that's going to that can see it. Someone can find it.
Exactly.
And right now, our generation can see it. People in our community can watch it. Yeah. I have a platform big enough that's connected to the city where it can transfer and get to the right people who may need to hear it.
Exactly.
But this is stuff that I will want to go about talking into schools. I am also have stuff on my calendar right now that the city of Rochester and people that have worked have already reached out to me to put me on calendar for some of these conferences that's coming up that I'll be talking about back towards the winter time. I'm already scheduled for. I got a lot of stuff that I'm booked for that's down the line, but
we're going to keep staying busy.
Yeah, it's to talk about this type of stuff because this type of stuff is needed. And not just from one who can't relate, but someone who's of these ages who can relate, who can sit in the same club as you, be cool, and relate, but still be able to let you know this current stuff right now.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Since I've been on probation, like I've been in the system for 5 years.
What?
I'm off next year.
That's
like
really
I've been having curfew. I've been having so much stuff. And if you think about it, I've been on probation 5 years. I've been having all this stuff on my plate. I'm now lost my family and relationship and stuff and all this stuff. And you still see me within these 5 years doing some of the most craziest, most high class, most unbelievable, inspiring shit.
Yeah, I sure do.
And people don't even know that part that I just spoke about is happening. And this is what I mean, how social media can create such a perspective.
Yeah.
And people just
be
thinking
like you're not going through nothing.
Thinking that you just trying to be something you're not or brag and stuff like that. And when people really don't understand that you are the way you are for reasons because you have been through so much unique things that it made you who you are. Like, sis, I have touched 70,000 twice.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the same years. Not from doing, like, literally, and lost it, sis. This is before the age of 25.
Calvino, I respect you so much more.
Like that.
Right?
You live and you learn.
So when I see people that's my age or a little bit younger who have these cars now, who have this jewelry, who out here throwing money in clubs, go out there doing this stuff, dudes naturally, because they may know me to be who I am or whatever, they try to show out naturally in front of me. This is why I don't like dudes, because dudes do that in front of women. So it gets weird when I feel like niggas or dudes is trying to show out in front of me.
Exactly.
Right? Or try to show something. So when I see dudes like blast their music at certain times or speed pass when they see a certain person is around and show they or just do certain corny stuff. For me, because I know the type of lifestyle I live, and I live so luxury at so young of age. I had older women. I dealt with women. I didn't have the most beautiful. I didn't did so much crazy stuff that typically you will experience now at these ages that a lot of stuff don't impress me, sis.
Yeah.
It don't impress me. This is why I'm so laid back and I don't do the normal stuff that dudes would do to get women attention because I kind of been there, done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely got to talk about some of this in the next episode.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
You got any more topics though you want to talk about? Because that was deep. That
Nah,
whole seg was.
yeah, that was real deep. I
You know?
actually got to watch this back and take a few notes on
Oh,
this.
right.
Me too.
Yeah, yes. You
Because
know
it
what?
was
That's
way
right.
too deep.
Yeah.
Like, this is something you got to preach in a
Yeah.
church or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I definitely think that this
Yeah.
type of stuff is meant for a large variety of an audience to hear because, yes, this type of stuff is being talked about on the internet, but really it's famous people out here with nice reels that's not even putting it in perspective like I am right now. And I'm not even famous out here like today's conversation, these other podcast shows and all this stuff. And I literally be watching these dudes get on the phone, do they consistent talks and people liking and stuff, and it'd be the same stuff I say. You
That's
know,
crazy.
and I just be like, yo, I could be doing this too. I'll be doing so much now. I don't be having time. But like I say, I don't do this for people to be the yes man, for to always seem right or to seem like I know it all. I do this because if I'm not currently dealing with it right now, I done been through it just not too long ago.
That's a fact.
And I like to talk about things in a way because yes, I can be someone who know all this stuff and still fall to statistic day by day. That's what life is. This is why when you a person who know it all, you go live a hard life because that means that you're going to experience things where life is going to humble you too many times.
Yeah.
Now you get humbled too many times where your life is just horrible. You know?
Yeah.
So you just want to be able to listen and learn and be able to be a sponge to life and people and opportunities to then, because your time is always going to come where you're going to be put into position to then be the teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
But when
like
you're
life is
right,
a learning journey.
It's a learning journey.
Like you just gotta take it one day at a time.
You gotta take your time.
Yeah.
Because you can be there. You could be in that same position. It's just right now that person is in that position right now.
Exactly. You just gotta wait your turn. Patience is key.
Yeah.
Like it is. Like,
and people don't want to wait their turn, man. Social media have created a industry where
it created a monster.
Like, people want it now, or people want to portray like they got it now. And it's like you put no type
you
of
don't
work
have
in.
You don't have to all the time.
Yeah.
It's too hard to keep up with the Johnsons.
Right. Right.
Just keep up with yourself.
Right. And you can
Balance.
have a skill. You can have a skill and you can be good at something.
Positive, all that.
But that's a difference between feeling like you know you gotta look down on somebody or just trying to be disrespectful in how you move about things or be subliminal. Like cut the subliminal statuses. Like cut the crap, man, especially if you just started. Because the people who've been doing this have already been through these humps that you've been through when it came to evaluating how they needed to be in business. So when they see you writing about this type of stuff, they have already been there, done that. So it makes them totally understand what type of position in life you're in right now. So when you try to fake your levels on where you're at with your words and trying to manipulate people into your words, when you don't have a sustainable resume and a longevity of a time period of doing what it is that you say, it's not credible.
At all.
It's not credible at all. So to all the young entrepreneurs out here, like, it's okay to have talent and it's okay to want people to see your talent, but do it to a certain extent. Don't do it to an extent where you get people to start turning their heads on you, because now you're starting to try to be something way bigger than what you're not, and not in a way of thinking, because it's good to think that positivity and want to be better, but in your actions and how you're communicating and how you're causing conflict, you're trying to cause issues with trying to overstep, trying to be something you're not, rather than letting experience cultivate you into being who you know you're going to be. Let time and experience get you to who you're going to be. Don't talk it. And don't talk your way into it, because like I said, people who you're inspired by and people who've been there, done that, is going to see through that. And you're going to lose opportunity with those people. And the only people you're going to be able to fool with that madness is people who younger than you, or people who on your level, who may see you on that light where, dang, she's doing crazy things or he's doing crazy things, right? And they're inspired, but then you got people on another level who's did those crazy things. So now they're looking down to either give knowledge to you or support you now. But now they're starting to see that you're not a person that's looking to really listen or learn. You are actually trying to be the teacher when you haven't even experienced anything for it. But yeah, we'll get into a lot more of that later.
Yeah, we will.
That's
And
right.
on the next episode.
Next episode of Talk That Talk podcast. But yeah, again, I don't know if this may be the first time that you guys view this, but you can follow me on Calvino Closet, which is my business page. Also, I got a YouTube channel, Calvino More. But what you can find this station, which is the best podcast right now in the city, is Talk That Talk, 585 on Instagram. And I'll let Sis, you go ahead and give them what it is where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Anna West Herbal. Add me on there. YouTube, Anna Herbal. Yeah, same as Facebook.
It's a fact.
Hit me.
Talk That Talk where we put it on the table. We out, y'all.
Go follow